The Super Series takes us to this beautiful park-like setting, the Guangzhou Gymnasium, the southern tip of China. And hello, everyone. Lou Tilley and Mick Moninghoff again as the Super Series continues. And boy, we had our challengers, I'll tell you right off the bat. That typhoon came up through Hong Kong and barely missed us, but did knock out some power here. And for a while, we didn't have air conditioning this morning. But we look forward to a hot game here as the CAFL continues, Mick.
Hot when you're talking temperature. Beijing comes in a perfect 3-0. Dalian, they didn't get any favors. They got to battle a little heat, battle the best team, and they're 0-3. Jawadya team, their quarterback is injured. He is out. Phil Garcia will start in his place. Also, Kent Richardson from the defensive side to the offensive side, a chance to maybe jumpstart their offense a little bit. And with a win today, Beijing solidifies their spot in the China Bowl.
Dalian comes in at 0-3. Beijing comes in dominating the league right now at 3-0. No one else undefeated. Clint Dozzell is their head coach of the Philadelphia Soul, the champions back in the U.S. His offense is something to watch. His quarterback averaging 72% completions through 3 games of the series. And as Mick mentioned, if they win today, they're in the China Bowl, the championship game in 2 weeks. Coming up in our second game today, 2 teams that are bidding to meet Beijing there, perhaps in the finals.
Qingdao coming off a loss last week. They need a rebound. Shanghai scored 61 points, a league best last week. They're both 2-1, and the winner's going to have a leg up as far as going into Shanghai.
That's coming up at 7 right here on One World Sport. Yes, you're watching China football live, the CAFL, the China Arena Football League. Today, right now at 2, it's 7 again, and then tomorrow afternoon, tomorrow morning, your time at 3, with our premier matchup game coming your way. It's the China Arena Football League, live from Guangzhou, China, coming your way right now. But first, let's meet the players and the coin toss. Sandra Parks takes us live from the field.
各位观众朋友们，你们好，下午好。哇，广州人应该多一点热情吧？大家好，欢迎来到我们 CAFL 广州站的第一场，由北京雄狮队对上大连龙王队。Thank you so much for coming to our Guangzhou CAFL first game, Beijing against Dalian. Thank you so much, and now we are ready for a coin toss. 现在马上要开始我们的开球仪式。
Good luck, sir. What's up, baby? Good luck. Good one.
Go get him, man.
Beijing, you'll be the visitors here. Who will make the call?
I will do it this time.
Okay.
You failed us last time.
Give me what you want before I flip the coin. Heads or tails? This is a tail. What is spelled out? This is a head.
I like to look at tails.
You look at the tails.
Love that.
They call tails.
Big tail. Tails never fails. Come on. I can't. Not today. No, it did today. Okay.
It comes up heads. You want to defer.
No.
You want to defer.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
You want the ball. You want the ball.
You want the ball now.
Yes.
You want the ball?
Yeah.
Okay.
We want the ball.
Dalian is one to toss. They elected to receive. Goal you wish to defend.
This one? Yeah.
Sir, get this away. Okay, you'll receive here. Have a good game. We'll get going here in a few minutes. Thank you very much, gentlemen.
All right. Good luck, baby.
大连队将会先接球进攻。我们现在先把现场交回给摄影棚。Now we're gonna go back up to the guys.
High scoring. Professional American arena football action is here. The CAFL Super Series Tour continues across China on the road to Shanghai for the China Bowl, November 6th. Beijing Lions, Shanghai Skywalkers, Dalian Dragons, Qingdao Clippers, Shenzhen Naya, Guangzhou Power. Sports in China has a new player, the new China Arena Football League. Speed, power, toughness. Follow the players, follow the series, follow the action. The CAFL Super Series Tour, Professional American Arena Football, has arrived in China.
And he has it for a touchdown!
The China Arena Football League is on the road to Shanghai to crown its first champion. Don't miss the China Bowl Sunday, November 6th for the Shanghai Oriental Stadium. For tickets, go to caflchina.com.
The CAFL on One World Sports is brought to you by Spalding, the official football of the CAFL. By Zenith, the world leader in helmets and shoulder pads. By the Judge Group, China. By Legends Sportswear, uniforms and apparel of the CAFL. By Sisu Mouthguards. By Smitty's Apparel for officials. By Lou Tilly Media, producers of the CAFL. By DJO Global. By Yu. By Eastern China Airlines. By Maritz Travel. And by the Doubletree Hotel by Hilton, Beijing.
Welcome to the Guangzhou Gymnasium. You're watching China Ball live as Beijing takes on the Dragon Kings. Welcome to the Guangzhou Gymnasium as Beijing takes on the Dragon Kings of Dalian. Complete opposites, Beijing 3-0. Dalian looking for their first win. Dalian has won the coin toss, and they'll take the ball, which is a little unusual strategy in arena ball. Hello, everyone. I'm Lou Tilly. Sandra Parks, who you heard from field level, will be conducting interviews in both languages for us. This is a production seen both in the U.S. and in China. To call our game, here's Mick Moninghoff.
All right, thanks very much, Lou Tilly, as Patrick Clark going to try an onside kick, and it's covered right away by the Dalian Dragon Kings as Amir Ismail comes up with the kick and the reception. So there you go, 1st and 10, great field position for the Dalian Dragon Kings.
What a break for Dalian. They win the coin toss, they accept it, and not only that, but get the ball tremendous field position to start things from the Beijing 12-yard line.
First and 10 for the Dalian Dragon Kings with the football at the 10-yard line for first and goal, actually. And here's Talib Wise, a toss. That ball is blown dead because it is touched and out of bounds.
Talib Wise comes in despite Dalian's struggles as one of the leading receivers in the CAFL through the first 3 weekends. We're in our 4th week, our 4th series stop of 6, heading to Shanghai in the big game, the China Bowl.
So 2nd and goal, the football spotted back at the 11 after the errant toss. Phil Garcia, 2-step drop, going to keep it himself, runs to the 5, puts his head down and goes all the way down to the 6-yard line. So Philip Garcia getting his first start at quarterback in place of Jawad Yatim, carries the football close to the 6.
He's a bull. Look at him. He's built low to the ground. If you take him on high, you're going to pay the price. Phil Garcia, running quarterback, has played for Coach Terry Bates at a couple of stops in Europe. More of an option quarterback. They originally came out this year with a run-oriented offense, then ditched it after too many turnovers, and they're going back to it today.
So the football spotted at the 6-yard line. Seemed to be a little confusion as to who the tight end may be on this play, but it will be Jordan Mosley, I beg your pardon. Steve Tang in motion, and we have an illegal procedure call.
Yeah, there was a shift, a sideways shuffle, and then a forward motion. And this is the kind of thing that
4-start, number 56, offense.
Dalian has struggled with.
5-yard penalty.
A lot of injuries, though, Mick. They lost their quarterback and one of their best linemen on consecutive plays in last week's game. Maybe their best game was their second start, where they hung around till the 4th quarter. But they've had to retool their offense at least twice in the last 2 weeks. And it's hard to do, especially on the road.
So 3rd and 11. Football back at the 11-yard line. Looks like they may be able to get a first down at the half-inch line. Here's a quick toss, complete on the far side, and Torres Jones came up and made the tackle on Kent Richardson.
Yeah.
Kent Richardson getting a chance to play on the offensive side of the ball today.
I don't think I've ever seen that, and I've been following Kent in the AFL back home for about 4 years. He's an all-arena defensive back who got a shot with the NFL, but because of those injuries we talked about, Coach Terry Bates is trying everyone who might be able to break a play and make a play, and here's an example.
So 4th and 7 at the 7-yard line. Sean Ju Chu comes in as the fullback for Phil Garcia. Talib Wise will go in motion on the big 4th down play. And they look to Steve Tang. The tight end makes the catch. He's close to the first down marker, and I think he got it.
Great catch by the big guy from Germany with Taiwanese or Hong Kong birth. So he's a Chinese player in our league, and there's the marker, and he knew just how to reach out and get a huge first down, not just in this game, but for this team, period. What a break.
So Steve Tang, with his first catch of the year, he has primarily been an offensive lineman, gets a chance to play a little tight end today and comes up with a catch for Garcia and company. Garcia does have one touchdown pass. Here we're looking at 1st and goal at the 1. And a handoff to Amir Ismail into the end zone for a score. There is a flag back at the 10.
And it's against the offense. And this has been the story of the Dragon Kings. This is Carl Paganelli, the veteran U.S. official who's our head of officials here in China, calling the game today.
I don't think they were 100% set on the offensive line.
Motion on the offense. 5-yard penalty, repeat the down.
That's too bad. Nothing's come easy. It's typical of the shuffling that Terry Bates has had to make with his team. You just mentioned the man who carried it in for the touchdown, Ishmael. He's maybe an all CAFL linebacker at this point, making the switch to offense to try and give him some punch and power down by the goal line.
So we've already seen Ishmael, and we've seen Steve Tang, and Ken Richardson. So 3 players from the defensive side contributing on this first series.
Ironman football.
2nd and goal at the 6. Well, 1st and goal, I beg your pardon. A handoff goes to Ishmael. He leans forward, but he's going to be marked out of bounds.
I'll tell you, Amir runs pretty tough with the ball. Picked up 4 of those yards, got him back. I keep feeding him.
Another look at it. He tried to reach.
He hit the wall first by contact, so he was out of bounds at about the 2, I'd say.
And they're going to call it 2nd and goal at the 2.
And they're running the right side behind Jordan Mosley.
And also you're seeing on the offensive front, Seguan Yen. Here's a handoff and to the goal line. I think, well, actually Garcia kept it. Did he break the plane or not?
Yep.
Yes. Some confusion there, but Phil Garcia's into the end zone for the first score of the day.
Well, this is huge. They just run behind their center, and he gets a big push by Ishmael from behind, so he should get an assist on this. But Garcia's built low to the ground, and he's submarine. I think he would have gotten in there anyway. But for this team, which has faced so much adversity, to score first against the undefeated Beijing Lions is big.
So Bing Wong on for the extra point. The placement down, the kick on the way. It hit the upright, and it is loose, covered up, and no good. So the score remains 6-0 after the touchdown run by Phil Garcia. Hope you're enjoying our coverage today on...
欢迎来到广州的超级竞赛，我们下雨下了2天，所以只好带他们来到游乐场来玩玩游戏了。每队会有3位队员，我们将会取3战2胜制来决定胜负。
Yeah, that's the kind of young fans that we're trying to cultivate here in China. Pro football coming to China for the first time. It's the CAFL live on One World Sports, and we're in Guangzhou this weekend. Coach Terry Bates and Dalian has scored on the undefeated Beijing Lions. Here are the 2 coaches, including Terry Bates, who coaches the Dalian team. He's going against Clint Dozell, right now the hottest coach in arena football back in the U.S. Clint, streaking, won the U.S. title in August, Hall of Fame player himself. He protects the passer. He drafts linemen. He wants to get the ball out fast, and his quarterback is 72%. Terry Bates, more of an international teacher, and he has had his struggles here so far with personnel and injuries, but playing well, and they have the lead, Mick.
Well, the last thing you saw there, innovative approach. We've seen 4 defensive players on the offensive side of the ball in the first series, and he has a 6-0 lead.
How about that?
And a backup quarterback to boot. So here's the kick from Garcia, and this will be Torres Jones. No, that's Calvin Fantz, and Calvin Fantz will take it the distance for the touchdown. But there's a flag back there at the 10-yard line.
Well, I guarantee you that's never happened. Calvin Fantz was an accomplished defensive end linebacker back in the AFL in the U.S., taking this ball and going 53 yards. And look, he's got a great motor. We know he can run, but I didn't know he could run like that, but it's all coming back. That's going to make his highlight reel anyway. We got to cut that out for him, Nick.
You know what? That's the first time that Calvin has returned a kick ever? Maybe ever.
Maybe since high school or junior high.
Certainly not in the CAFL.
Calvin's a workout room maniac. He's not that big by human standards.
Human standards?
6'2", 250. But he can run like a 4.75 40. So I'm not shocked. Still, how about that?
I was not expecting to see Calvin Fantz.
Come on, man.
Nah.
Calling it back.
Oh, well, it happens.
Here comes Luke Collis now at quarterback. 72% completions on the season.
Collis has Colin Taylor in high motion. He is looking for Taylor one-on-one coverage. He makes the catch and knocked out at the 24-yard line. That is Darnell Burks on the coverage, but not before Taylor has the first down.
Yeah, he made that look simple, didn't he? And Taylor, like Collis, as you would expect, at 72%, having a great season so far, ranks 3 in the CAFL and receptions, and leads all at 16 yards per catch, and he just gobbled up 21 on that.
So nice play by Taylor.
And this is how explosive Beijing's offense, and they come in easily as the leading attack on average through 3 games of the CAFL.
Wayne Tribute, the center, with Neil Tivis and Tien Hao Zhang on the front line. Man in motion across the middle, complete. Oh, and a nice hit by Burks as they went to Jun Xinjiang, who has become one of their top Chinese receivers. He holds on and makes the catch.
Just missed it, but Burks was closing. This will give us a better angle. Perfectly delivered underneath ball and perfectly delivered hit from the side. Got the shoulder in front, no helmet involved. That's good football.
Across the 10 at the 8-yard line, where it's going to be 1st and goal at the 8 on the catch made by Zhang. They call him Gazer. He took a semester off from Ole Miss to come play in the CAFL. 1st and goal at the 8. Taylor in motion. Collis under center. Fires incomplete, in and out of the hands of Colin Taylor. He was met post-haste. Amir Ishmael was in on the hit.
And I think the hit had something to do with it. Big Amir, number 43, now back where he's most comfortable as a linebacker. He's been an all-IFL performer in his past. In fact, the defensive co-player of the year at one point, along with Matt Moss, another player in our lineup. There's Clint Dozell talking with his quarterback, Luke Collis. Collis plays as Clint's backup in the U.S. on the Philadelphia Champion Souls of the AFL, so he knows Clint's system in and out. Clint, a tremendous Hall of Famer himself at quarterback.
Xiangyu Zhang sets up at fullback. Jun Xinjiang in the slot. Taylor in motion. And Collis goes to the outside. Erwinson at Wu making the catch and wrestled down by Richardson at about the 3.
Now, Wu is not the fastest of the Chinese bunch at all, but he's solid, stockily built, as you can tell. And even though he bobbled it for a good bit, he's good possession receiver.
That's his 19th reception of the season. That's not bad at all.
Now he leads. Does he lead the Chinese receivers? I think he does. He leads the Chinese group at the receiver positions, which has been the most difficult element and skill of the game for the China players to develop in the last few years that we've been playing here.
As far as receptions go, yes, you're absolutely correct. So now Collis fakes, throws, and falling down on the play was the tight end, Tian Hao Zhang, incomplete. He would have had a touchdown if he could have stayed upright.
Yeah, they were trying to get him involved out of the tight end slot. Normally, Dalzell would use his Philadelphia Soul All-Arena lineman, Neil Tivis. But this time, he gave the shot to the Chinese player. There's Collis, 6'3", 225, played at Occidental out of Los Angeles. And they're going to bring in Chris Deeker now on this key fourth down play. He's the backup. An abundance of quarterback talent for the Beijing Lions. Deeker was a starter in the U.S. League, and he's Tim Tebow down here, Mick. He's liable to tuck it and roll around that right end.
He has run, caught, and passed for touchdowns, has Deeker. So Deeker from the 2 on 4th and goal sends Taylor in motion, and Deeker rolls, tucks it, and is stood up. He will not get in. Richardson and company were all over him, and the Beijing Lions have turned it over on downs.
How about the Dalian Dragon Kings? Bull in their necks, standing up. Is that Kent Richardson? Yeah, sealing off the corner and taking on Deeker, who's 6'5", 230 high, driving him out of bounds. So they've scored the first touchdown and come up with a goal line stop.
And so the Beijing Lions have that door closed on them. They came in a heavy favorite in this one and find themselves trailing after the first possessions by a score of 6-0.
Dalian averaging just 17 points per game.
Garcia, one-step drop, throws, and Yip has to go in and out of his hands, incomplete.
Yeah, Yip is the right word. That is not good. You can't catch the ball with your body in football. You got to reach out with your hands. Use your fingertips. Go after it aggressively. Don't let it bounce off your chest with those shoulder pads on. It's like a trampoline effect.
Shin Long Zhang was defending on the play. Yip, all of 5'5", 145, lines up as the wide out on the far side. Garcia retreats to the end zone, fires deep for Richardson, overthrew, and incomplete.
And something I just noticed, Mick, is that Dalian, you're allowed to use the motion man coming forward in the rules that we're playing. They call it high motion. I'm not sure why they call it high motion, but it's high-octane motion, that's for sure, because you're not going sideways, you're running forward, making it very difficult on the defense. They haven't used it, Mick. They're just lining up. I think they're still trying to master the basics.
Well, Garcia has his play. Here he's looking at a 3rd and 10 back at his own 3-yard line. Now you got a high motion here as Philip Wise is all the way back against the back wall. Richardson to the left, Yip to the right. One-step drop, fastball, incomplete, slightly behind the shoulder of Talib Wise.
All right, now they've got a dilemma. 3 straight incomplete passes, and that Yip drop on first down was the killer. 4th down, you don't punt in arena football. You either go for it, which it looks like they will, or you try a field goal, quote unquote, and use it like a punt.
Well, let's see who lines up. Jordan Mosley is the tight end on this play. Now he has 1 reception.
No motion.
Nope. Garcia in trouble, just airs it out, and this will fall harmlessly, incomplete. So Dalian turns it over on downs, and with the change of possession, we'll take a timeout. 3 minutes and 15 seconds to play here in our first quarter. The Dalian Dragon Kings leading Beijing by a score of 6-0 from Guangzhou on One World Sports.
If you've been watching our game from the start live here in Guangzhou on One World Sports, I probably don't even have to show you this, but this is the quarterback comparison that we prepared. Luke Collis arguably leading the league, certainly in percentage, at 73 of 101 and about 226 yards per game. And look at his touchdown to interception ratio, 15 to 1. And Garcia, quite the opposite, at 15 for 25, only 114 yards. And so far in this game, Mick, he's just 2 for 7 after 4 straight incompletes. Cost him, and look where Beijing starts.
Teed it up for him. First and goal for the Beijing Lions at the 3-yard line, and Collis is still going to be under center. Deeker, the wideout on the far side, and he's got some height. Colin Taylor goes in motion. 2-step drop inside. Deeker, touchdown, and we have a tie ball game with 3:10 to play here in the first quarter.
That was way too easy. And Mick, if you and I spotted Deeker out there, why didn't the safety? He went to the outside and left the middle of the field incredibly open for the easy touchdown for Deeker. His second on the season out of the wide receiver slot.
So Patrick Clark on for the extra point, and Clark 12 of 14 in extra points, by far the best kicker in the CAFL this season. Placement down, kick on the way, and this one is good. So with a touchdown and extra point, the Beijing Lions have a 1-point lead over Dalian by the score of 7-6 with 2:32 to play in our first. Hope you're enjoying the coverage right here on One World Sports.
CAFL Typhoon Tuesday.
Here we go, Trick Shot Tuesday coming at you on Typhoon Tuesday. I got special guest Chris Deeker, Colin Taylor to help weather the storm.
Yeah, some of the young fans, they're doubling up. We're spawning more and more young Chinese fans.
Legally.
If you're just joining us here in the Guangzhou Gymnasium, we've been showing the great video that we've been gathering all through the week and entertaining the fans. We'll tell you more about that. Shane Austin just having a ball with his GoPro.
Clark's kick off the net. Maurice Woodard will have to pick it up, and he slips and still on his feet, gets traction. Mayorga all over him at the 5-yard line, and that's where the tackle is made on Woodard.
Mayorga certainly lets it fly. He's a fullback for Beijing. Occasionally gets to carry the ball, but he's great on special teams. He's a contender for one of our special teamers of the year. We'll be electing MVPs on offense, defense, and special teams, and announce them the weekend of the Shanghai China Bowl coming up in 2 weekends in Shanghai. You can go online soon to vote for your favorite players as well as our all CAFL team. And we'll announce it right before the big game, 2 Sundays from now.
1st and 10 at the 6 for Dalian as they trail by a point. Garcia sees the rush coming. He is caught, and he will go down at the 1-yard line. Not a safety, but Calvin Fance and company was all over him.
Oh boy, I don't know about the forward progress. You be the judge. Do they have him now?
He got that ball out.
Yeah, it's hard to tell from this angle. But they are playing with fire. And this has been their problem all year long, backed up to their own goal line. Now, they got the ball inside the red zone on the onside kick by Beijing at the start, managed to squeeze the touchdown in, but since then they've been backed up.
James Romaine, Torres Jones in the secondary along with Sing Long Shang. Talib Wise in motion, almost intercepted and went in and out of the hands of Yao Su Lin, who's playing in the box today.
And Garcia falls to 2 for 8 in the early passing stats.
He was looking for Richardson, but inside the coverage there was Lin, and Sue almost picked it off. 3rd and 15 back at the 1-yard line.
They'll use the motion here. Richardson will come off the back wall. You see him to the right of your screen.
Garcia from the end zone loads up, lets it fly, and this one is caught by Richardson, and it's going to go for a touchdown. Well, it was a jump ball situation, and James Romaine just mistimed the jump a little bit. Richardson makes the catch, and he's in for the score.
And you see some of the fun we have after touchdowns here in China. That one sure to make the reel by Kent Richardson. This is as far as you can score, Mick. This is 49 yards and 2 feet. Thanks to the jump ball, Kent Richardson, normally a defensive back. Hey, he's got the hands. He's one of the best thieves back in the United States. And his first touchdown here in the CAFL is the longest in the history of CAFL play.
Wow. 49-yard touchdown catch on a 3rd and 15 from the 1. Bing Wong on for the extra point. Here's his kick. He got it. They've had trouble with extra points, but Bing Wong nails that one. And don't look now. We have ended the first quarter with the Dalian Dragon Kings with a 13-7 lead over the undefeated Beijing Lions. We'll come back with more in a moment. Hope you're enjoying it on One World Sports. Is the CAFL more fun than the NFL? Judging by the touchdown celebrations, the answer is yes. Mike Washington has helped to set the standard for fun after touchdown. He says it's a new league with a new group.
Here in China, I mean, it's the first year. I mean, you really trying to set an example, and you put on a performance for the fans too, because they want to come see something exciting too. It's like it's different from the NFL. You know, NFL you can't really do anything without getting a penalty now. So you know, some of the fans like to see the dancing and celebration that close to the field.
As far as his coach Derek Stingley is concerned, he's all for it.
I've been around this game for so long. It's almost like I look for things like that to happen. If I don't see it, I feel like as if something is missing. For me as a coach, at times I used to have celebration periods. I haven't been doing it lately, but early in my career I used to do it because that's what brings the fans into it. You know, it creates something for the players to be a personality and not just a football guy with a helmet and shoulder pads, to where the fans can have a favorite. And I love seeing it, and I'm pretty sure the fans enjoy it as well.
The Chinese players have taken notice and know what makes a good celebration.
The more over the top it is, the better, to be honest. I think celebrations are really fun. It's part of the game. I think truly it's like an art form. Just like a touchdown can be an art form, I think celebrations can be an art form. And so it's a representation of who you are.
But why can't the NFL enjoy that same freedom of expression?
I don't know. You probably have to ask Roger Goodell that, man, because it's hard to score, period, in any type of football. NFL especially, college, our game. So you spend all week practicing, putting in the hard work. So when you get in the end zone, you want to express it, feel good. Like I got in the end zone because it's tough to do.
Here's a shocker on 4th and 10 from their 1-yard line, 1-foot line. Garcia barely gets it out of there, and that's doomed, right? No! Kent Richardson high points the ball, as they like to say back home, and trots in for the touchdown. And Dalian, winless on the year, has the lead on the undefeated Beijing Lions. Here's Mick with more.
On this kick, you will see Zun Shu, who has not had a lot of distance, to Calvin Fance at the 5-yard line. Fance up to the 15, to the 20, to the outside, still going, and brought down from behind by Jordan Mosley across the 20 at about the 18. So somewhat a short field for the Beijing Lions.
And here is Fance again showing great instincts as he follows his blocking very nicely. They cave in the right side, and Mosley, that could have been a horse collar tackle on Big Jordan, but big meets big. That's all fair, I think. Clint Dozell, I like to say effervescent, passionate coach. of the Beijing Lions trying to get to the China Bowl with a win today. That's the road to Shanghai. It comes up November 5 and 6 at the beautiful Oriental Stadium. Tickets are available, and you'll get to see it here live on One World Sports. Next weekend, Saturday and Sunday, the 29th and the 30th, we'll be in Shenzhen. You notice all the English and Chinese characters because we're televising live both to the United States with Mick and I, as well as into China on the iQIYI network with Wuxia Lu and Dayton Wang calling the action right next to us.
1st and 10 at the 18-yard line. Sonette Wu to the near side. Romain's in the slot. Taylor on the right. Collis, a 3-step drop, looking for Romain. It is in and out of his hands, incomplete. And it was almost picked off. Darnell Works defending, almost came down with a pick.
James should have had his 5th touchdown here. Clunk. He is a defensive back by trade, also back with the Philadelphia Soul. Has played a lot of offense here and has 4 touchdowns and 19 total receptions. But I think he would agree. He should be doing his touchdown dance right now.
That was a catchable ball, no doubt. Sets up a 2nd and 10 at the 18-yard line after the incomplete pass.
See, since we live with these guys, I've always put in a caveat. I think he would agree.
They would. I mean, that was a ball that he would tell you he should have had. 2-step drop, Collis. Oh, almost picked off, and he did get it. Amir Ishmael comes up with a pick. They say he's not down by contact, and finally tackled across the 20-yard line. A big interception and return for Amir Ishmael. That's his first interception of the season.
What can I tell you? They're playing inspired ball now. Beijing has left the door open, and this guy is the spiritual leader of the Dalian Dragon Kings. Watch the line. His perspective now. He's a linebacker. I like the way he plays. Great drive. He got the left hand, played the tip drill to himself. Never gave up on the ball, and still hasn't given up. Still on the run. He's looking for the end zone. He's a happy guy.
You know, we talked to Clint Dozell just about Amir before today. I said, if there's one guy you fear, he goes, oh yeah, he can play. There's no doubt. So there you go. Amir Ishmael with a pick.
And Luke Collis, the leading percentage thrower in the league, just 4 for 9 and with an interception. Now how big does the Romain drop look, by the way?
Real big. Garcia, 2-step drop, sidearm, complete. I think that is Wise. It is Talib Wise, one of the top receivers in this league. Start of the day, tied with Mike Washington with 27 receptions each. Pulls this one in on the ball that was low and away.
That's his throw, the sidearm to the boards, to the wall. As you said, low and away, because he's only delivering that from shoulder height. And boy, that's almost impossible to defend, though. If he had a couple of more of those in his arsenal, he'd be a real threat. And right now, he's a threat to go up by 2 scores.
1st and 10, 17-yard line, and a whistle. No, it's not first. They're going to call it 2nd down. And I think there, see?
Yeah.
I was right.
You were right.
I thought it was 10 yards. 1st and 10, 17-yard line. Wise in motion. And Garcia on the direct snap is going down at the 20.
Not a bad idea, though. After hitting on a couple of successful passes, run the quarterback draw, but nobody filled. And you do have to block somebody.
This is true. So it goes back to the 20, loss of 3. It'll be 2nd down and 13 at the 20-yard line.
Yeah, he's now -9 in rushing. And that's his forte. So Beijing has come prepared, and they're spying the quarterback.
Zhenma to the far side, Richardson on the right. Wise goes in motion. Garcia from the gun throws to Richardson, complete at the 15. Positive yards there as the tackle made by Su Lin.
And again, he's throwing to his right with that little half sidearm motion. That figures to be where he's most effective. Let's see if Clint starts rolling his defense over to that side in the pass secondary.
3rd and 9 at the 15. Good look at Paul Cheng playing on the defensive front for the Beijing Lions.
MMA fighter, has made it to the big time, and at the age of 40, he's fighting in that defensive line.
Wise in motion. Garcia steps up, pocket breaking down, keeps running, got to the 13, and that's going to be all.
Yeah, again, they're looking for it. There's a lot of bodies in there. Every time he tucks it, the linebackers are told, don't get out of there until you see the quarterback clear the pocket, and now they come forward, and they double up on him.
4th and 7 at the 13 after the run by Garcia. Now, Garcia is primarily a running quarterback. He can take a hit.
Which sounds odd in arena football. There's Terry Bates, who's worked with him in Germany. He had him on his squad there. Terry has coached in Germany, Italy, Egypt even. And all that great content that I was telling you about, you can check it out on our YouTube channel now back in North America. And you can also like us on Facebook. We've got tremendous response for some of our content that we pushed out this week, particularly our celebrations and the fun we have here in arena football. And we'll be telling you about that and showing you the results of that at halftime tonight.
Looks like Bing Wong is going to attempt a field goal.
Yeah.
First field goal attempt for Wong. It's spotted at the 20, so this would be what, a 28-yard attempt?
Nope, 38. 28. Yes, you're 28. You're right.
28-yard attempt for Bing Wong. High snap, placement down, kick on the way. It's going to be wide to the left, and James Romaine feels that there's a flag on the play. Romaine trying to return.
Look out! Look out!
No one in front of him. He will go the distance to the end zone, but he's slowing it down because he knows the flag is back at the 2-yard line.
Well, that's one of the reasons they don't kick field goals on 4th down more often in the Arena League, is because that ball is live off.
Kick catch,
the
interference on the kickers. Penalties declined.
It's a touchdown. Oh boy, did that ball up in Dalian's face. And that's what I was just starting to detail. If you're going to kick it, you got to have guys out there that can cover. And no one expected this guy to come out of the end zone untouched like a lightning bolt, and he put it shifted down right about here. And Romaine goes the distance, 57 yards on the return for the touchdown.
So that is a first in the CAFL, the first missed field goal return for a touchdown. How about that? James Romaine.
And Clint Dozell has to feel happy about that. There was Dalian a moment ago with a 4th down play to keep a drive alive and the chance to go up by 2 scores. Instead, with this point, Beijing can take the lead.
Now, usually on a penalty like that, it's against the defense, but Dalian commits the infraction. Here is Clark's extra point. This is straight and true, and just like that, the Beijing Lions have a 14-13 lead. So we have seen things go awry for Dalian, and they continue that way. 14-13 our score as James Romaine takes it off the net and takes it the distance into the end zone. Hope you're enjoying our coverage today on One World Sports.
And 10:25 to go from Guangzhou in a game that's much tighter than we thought. And Clint Dozell may have been sweating it out like we are. Up here it's about 95 degrees, but we have our CAFL sweat towels.
You know, I didn't get the rally towel today. Now I got to put in for that.
You got to get closer with Louis Tan of Legend Sports.
I think so. And
he's the maker of all our gear, all of our uniforms here, and he's just up the road in Shanghai, where we'll be in a couple of weekends for the end of the Super Series and the big China Bowl on Sunday.
He outfits Sandra. I got to get in on that deal.
Yeah, he looks good in the skirt.
And no, I'm talking about the jacket. Now, here is the return by Woodard. Nice move. Comes to the 15, to the 20. Fouls his block. Still going 25. Has Clark to beat.
Got him.
And he will go the distance for the touchdown. Kickoff return, Maurice Woodard. And the Dalian Dragon Kings have come right back.
And Maurice Woodard trying to get in on the now world-famous CAFL touchdown celebrations. Here's the move Mick has so well called. Here, when he cuts back to the middle, now he sees blocking. He sees interference, and now he's got the angle on the kicker and takes it all the way. And Dalian has a lot of fight in him on this Saturday afternoon in Guangzhou.
Well, I'll tell you this, it's the first time we've ever had back-to-back returns in the CAFL.
Right.
A return off a missed field goal by James Romaine from 56 yards. This one goes 52 to the house for the touchdown. And the Dalian Dragon Kings lead it by the score of 19-14 with a point pending.
How about that? You know,
wow.
that's, you know, you can't handicap sports, and that's why we play the games. We don't let the computers do it. We still play. There's a human element. Meanwhile, Beijing is going to make a timeout here, which is an odd time. Not enough guys on the field, too many.
Well, and that's also because you saw the two-point conversion formation for the Dalian Dragon Kings.
So Clint Dozell wants to be sure of things here.
Because the kicking game has not been that stellar, quite honestly, for Dalian. And so they're going to go for 2.
We have another game coming your way at 7 this evening, and then 3 tomorrow, 3 a.m. your time. And then next week we move down the road just a couple of hours by bus. Down near Hong Kong is the city of Shenzhen in this great metropolitan area. And on Saturday, our doubleheader is this Dalian team taking on Shanghai, one of the co-favorites to get to the China Bowl in the championship game. While Beijing, who knows the situation they'll be in, will take on Guangzhou, a team that's starting to surge. Our hometown team here, you'll see them coming up in our Sunday game. And then Qingdao on the Sunday game next week, taking on the home team defenders from Shenzhen, the Naja, which is a Chinese version of the Cobra. And there's Woodard getting in on the act. He's been quiet in the last 2 losses, had a big game in their first premier game when the Super Series kicked off in Beijing. And Beijing, Mick, if they thought that they were going to cruise to a spot in the China Bowl, well, guess what?
Strange things happen. And right now they trail, the Beijing Lions trail this game by the score of 19-14 and could go down 21 as there's a toss to Ishmael. Oh, he is hit by Fance and going down.
Well, it wasn't quite as bad as it looked. Ish had to hurdle a guy, so his legs weren't under him. He was not in a good plant position, but Fance takes advantage of it. Watch this blow. Oh! Yeah, it's football. There's no flags out there. I mean, there's no flags in the pocket. This is football.
Calvin Fance, but a nice stick right there.
Yeah, an important one. Keeps him within 5. Good play by Terry Bates. The 2-pointer would have put him up by 7. 1-pointer would have only put him up by 6. Kind of worthless, so he goes for 2. Worth it. Ishmael's got to be having a ball. The veteran linebacker getting the carry it 3 times already. Here's the leading passers, and one of them in this game right now is not off to such a great start. Collis, technically, we've got him in at number 2 only because of total yards. I think if you added that all up, Mick, you'd make him the top quarterback so far. Look at the touchdown ratio.
As far as the rating goes, because he did have the 72% passing completion.
And look at the touchdown to interception ratio. And we'll see Shane Austin, who's been so exciting and surging. He'll be in our second game coming up this afternoon. And Shane took us on a tour only as he can through Guangzhou to do trick shots with Willie McGinnis and some of his pals. If you go onto our CAFL YouTube or on our website at CAFLfootball.com, you can see all that great fun stuff.
I went to the Guangzhou Tower with Austin. Sat next to him as we did the drop from thousands of feet.
What, is it like an amusement thing?
Yeah. Yeah, he was screaming.
Did you do it?
He was sitting right next to me. Oh, yeah. It was a lot of fun hanging out with those guys.
Anybody lose their squid?
No, everybody was in good shape. Justin Lawrence does not like heights.
I don't either. That's why you didn't see me anywhere near there.
Here we go. Here's the kick. Onside kick, and that is recovered by Beijing at the 10-yard line, and that is Torres Jones recovering that kick.
Interesting. The defense for Dalian's been pretty good. Terry Bates, who's learning the Arena League book as he goes, exercising a tactic that's pretty common but not very well executed. That was like a 2-hopper to the pitcher, who could have walked it over to first base for the out. So you put it on a platter now for Beijing to take it right back in and retake the score, or retake the lead.
First and goal at the 9-yard line. Let's see what Beijing elects to do here. Colin Taylor's out there.
Watch Taylor off of the slot. see if he goes. No, he's not the motion man. It'll be Romaine. He'll try to center up in the middle of the field and read the safety's coverage.
Neil Tivis going to be the tight end. Romaine in motion. Collis looking for Romaine, and actually it was kind of in between as Richardson was defending on a play. It wasn't long enough for Romaine, and he overthrew Taylor.
Well, if we watch the quarterback here, you'll see why. Collis had some pressure and had to throw off his back foot. He was looking for Romaine. He was looking at him all the way. Romaine cut to the left, was wide open in the corner. And another incompletion.
Yep. So the pass falls awry. 2nd and goal at the 10-yard line.
And he's missed his last 3 passes with Collis has, with an interception thrown in there.
So Guan Yen lines up on the inside. 3-step drop. Deeker, touchdown as he finds Colin Taylor. So Deeker comes on to throw the touchdown pass for Deeker. That is his 2nd touchdown pass of the season. The 5th touchdown reception for Colin Taylor.
Now that's way too easy again. As no one covers number 17, maybe the premier receiver when you look at his entire resume in the AFL. Wide open.
Jordan Mosley comes on to get it in place for this extra point attempt. There's a flag on the play. The kick is on the way. The kick goes through, but there's a flag, so hold on. Patrick Clark split the upright. I think it's going to be illegal participation.
Substitution on the defense. Penalty is declined. The extra point is good.
So that is declined. The point will count. And just like that, the Beijing Lions lead it by the score of 21-19. Hope you're enjoying our coverage here from Guangzhou on One World Sports. Don't go away.
I have one goal, playing receiver. That one goal is to make my quarterback look like the best player on the planet.
Does it feel like? I feel like a playmaker.
I mean, you're basically the man. Like, all attention is on you. Everybody knows the quarterback, but the guy who really makes the money is the receiver.
When you catch the ball, the ball is going to break the hand. Your hand's going to be like this. Pretty much you want to catch it with all fingers.
There's no better feeling in the world than scoring a touchdown, especially something deep where you got to run and work for it. Even the short ones are good too.
The whole point of catching the ball is so you can get in the end zone and, of course, be the star. So once you catch the ball, you do everything you can to cross that goal line and put points on the board for your team.
But 2 things are going to happen. You're going to have 10,000 people screaming for you and cheering your name. You're going to have 10,000 people silent and or booing you. If you're at home, you got everybody screaming, everybody doing the dance, everybody doing your touchdown celebration. Or if you're away, you have everybody screaming at you and booing at you, and only the 24 guys on your team giving you a high five. It's the best feeling in the world.
Hey, Colin Taylor scoring a touchdown, a 2nd grab of the day, leading the CAFL in yards per reception at about 17, make it 5 touchdowns. Now you see Mike Washington off to a sensational start along with Talib Wise of this Dalian team, and then Taylor. And Kalamoko and Washington, that's the big 1-2 punch in the league so far, as well as Sean Liu of Shanghai, as well as you see the leading receivers. That's through 3 weekends. We're into week 4 of the Super Series, Series 4 of 6. We go to Shenzhen next weekend, and then we wrap it up in Shanghai with the China Bowl on Sunday, November 6th. Watch it here on One World Sports, or if you're in China, get tickets and join us.
Now, just in case Patrick Clark, if he doesn't kick this deep, well, he does. David Aku was also ready to return it at the 10. But here is Woodard at the 5, 10, up to about the 13-yard line.
And look who tackled him.
And that is Vance to bring him down.
He's having a terrific game. He's returned a couple of kicks a long way, and watch the tackle he makes in the open field here on a true running back. He squared up, Mick, and then he rolled off to the side with his head, and watch how he wraps his arms around him at the end of the tackle. That's classic. That's the way they teach you from the very beginning in Pop Warner football. So Terry Bates has to figure out a way, and it's been kind of hit or miss to try and keep up with Beijing, the highest scoring offense by team totals in the league.
He does have his team down by just a few as Beijing leads it 21-19. Zhen Ma comes in motion. Quick sidearm to Talib Wise and can't get away from Richardson, but he does get up to the 16-yard line. It's a gain of 3.
And that's Talib with his third grab of the day. And again, everything to the right with the exception of that jump ball to Richardson that connected from 49 yards and 2 feet. This is living dangerously. One of these veteran corners, and you see Romain, he's going to jump that route at some point.
Phil Garcia getting his first start of the season as Jawad Yateem injured a leg last week. Here's a pass to the left, and
that's good.
Zhen Ma making a catch.
So he does go left.
Zhen Ma, pretty good receiver. Started the day with 3 receptions. It's out of Beijing and the Beijing Institute. So it sets up a 3rd and 2 with the football at the 22-yard line. Oh, motion first, no flag though, as they try to run for the first down, and they may have it.
I like the play call. It was a keeper, not a quarterback sneak and not a sweep either. He takes the snap and immediately slants off of his left guard, and that was a tackle that probably saved 3 yards. He's close to the first down. I think he has it.
You got it. And move the chains, and they'll put it at the 24-yard line.
By the way, Dalian has already exceeded their average point total on the season with 19 points. They came in averaging just 17 per game.
Wow. And they still have 5:05 to play here in the first half.
Yeah. Kick return. 50-yard bomb.
And now Garcia, one-step drop, lets it go, and Torres Jones has an interception. Laterals, this play is still alive, and it's James Romain. Romain to the 20, to the 25, still going, and finally brought down across the 20 at the 18-yard line. So Torres Jones with the interception, and then the lateral to James Romain.
Didn't jump the route. This was poorly thrown. And it's over double coverage as well with Romain there and Torres Jones. And a smart move by Torres in the open field, recognizes Romain. And by that lateral, they pick up another 18 yards and almost a touchdown. Torres Jones, number 24, multifaceted, talented young player we've gotten to know well. Played at Western Carolina for the Catamounts out of the little town of Wilson, North Carolina. It's his 4th interception?
4th interception, leads the CAFL.
Wow, I didn't realize that. That's terrific. Torres Jones, let's say hi to his mom and dad. They watch all the games live down in Wilson, North Carolina. Torres now makes his home in beautiful town of Charlotte, North Carolina, where I spent my first few years of my broadcasting career.
1st and 10 at the 18-yard line as the Beijing Lions look to open up a little room here now as the first half is winding down. Sinet Wu goes to the far side. You have Zhang in the slot and a whistle here. Let's just hold on. I think we got a timeout. Did not see a flag.
Garcia had completed 5 straight passes for Dalian before that interception.
Amir Ismail calls timeout.
Well, it's probably a smart one then.
Looks like they didn't have the right personnel on the field.
Yeah, he saw, I told you, he's like the coach of their defense. And he will be a head coach next year when the next indoor season rolls around.
He's going to coach in Bloomington, Illinois.
6'2", 235 pounds of steel. And it doesn't come by accident. He's a nightly visitor in the weight room wherever we go on our tour.
Celebrated a birthday this past week.
Yeah, I saw that.
So now Beijing, 1st and 10 at the 18-yard line. Jun Shin Zhang, they call him Gazer, comes to the near side. Taylor goes in motion. Deeker, the quarterback, rolls, throws to the tight end, or rather the fullback. Mayorga makes the catch, crosses the 10, still going, and forward progress at about the 6.
nice play. Everyone's keen Deeker by this point when he comes into the game as a runner. And that enables the fullback to slip behind the defensive end. That's the kind of play you see in the outdoor game all the time. And Mayorga does a nice job with it after catching the football.
That's his first reception of the year, Lou. And that sets up a 1st and goal at the 7-yard line. Mayorga does have 3 rushing touchdowns. One of the rushing leaders.
Deeker's now 2 for 2 throwing the ball for 20 yards.
Sinet Wu to the near side along with Zhang.
Deeker stays in.
Taylor will be in high motion. Handoff to Taylor, met and going down, and who else? Ishmael on the tackle.
I like that play. It's, you know, if you're going to have the option of running forward with a 10-yard start, why not hand it to that guy? And they do. In this case, it's Taylor. This is a play that Dalzell runs very effectively with a Philadelphia Soul down in the red zone, sometimes with Ryan McDaniel, who's not built unlike Taylor, but good defensive stop.
So Deeker stays in at quarterback on this 2nd and goal at the 10.
Yeah, at least Clint's let them have the whole series here. Collis has been a little shakier than in any game we've seen so far.
Zhang and Wu to the near side. Mayorga the fullback. Taylor comes in motion. Tivis the tight end on the near side. Deeker, 2-step, throws inside. It's complete. And then as Wu makes the catch, and about the end.
A good open field tackle by Kent Richardson, who's playing himself a whale of a game. And this is where he makes his money back home. Not easy. Keeps his eye on the target. Uses his arms effectively.
They spot it at the 7, where it'll be 3rd and goal. So Ishmael and company. Steve Tang up front. So Nguyen Yan, that's a pretty good defensive front. They're active. Maybe not the most girth, but they can all move.
And they've had their moments in the Super Series so far, particularly in their 1st and 2nd games. They kind of fell apart last week as they suffered the injuries and were just worn out.
Same receivers as Taylor goes in motion. Deeker, quarterback counter.
All the way
to the 5-yard line, and Amir helped trip him up.
And Amir really made a great play. Ishmael, 43. He's all pumped up right now. I was faked. Deeker sells this well, but this is run all the way. You can tell because you see the linemen fire off the ball and they're downfield, so that would have been an illegal pass. Watch the left side of the line. They're run blocking all the way, trying to form a little bubble screen for their quarterback, but it's well played by Ishmael.
Well, he's had 2 big tackles on this drive. It started at the 18-yard line, and he has an interception also today. And we have a timeout with 1 minute to play here in our 1st half. The Beijing Lions are driving, trying to get another score as we get to halftime. 21-19, Beijing leads Dalian. Hope you're enjoying our action from Guangzhou today on One World Sports.
Work day. Hey, hey. Let's get it.
Down, baby. All the way from VA. Here.
Left and left. left and left and left. Yeah, we brought them from, no, we didn't. These are gals from Guangzhou, as we've had cheerleader troops from each of the cities we visited here in China, and they've just been delightful. We thank them for joining us.
1 minute to play here in our first half. The Beijing Lions looking at a 4th and goal at the 7-yard line, and we have a timeout taken by Dalian, as they're just not quite set for this, well, last 4th down play.
Last timeout,
we're in Guangzhou, in a huge metropolitan area of over 42 million people, of which the city of Shenzhen is part of this area. And we go down the road about 2 hours by bus for our next stop in Super Series number 5 next weekend. We'll see you on the 29th and the 30th. A pair of games on Saturday next week, brought to you live on One World Sports, is Dragon Kings, Dalian, this team we're watching, take on Shanghai, a team in the hunt for sure, Shanghai. And Beijing will be back in action. This should be a dynamite game, game 2 next week. Beijing taking on Guangzhou, the home team here this week. And then on the Sunday game, Qingdao and fighting for their China Bowl lives coming up in our nightcap today against Shenzhen. Peace to you, brother. Yeah, thumbs up. Mahalo.
It's funny, as we had traveled around on the subway with the players, young fans see all the players, and they just can't wait to get their picture taken with them.
Yeah. I get a lot of looks from the for the white hair, you know, the gray. Well, I'll call it gray. That's nice, because the Chinese, by and large, don't gray, and their hair doesn't go white, and I get the fingers pointing at me.
Yeah, look at that guy. 4th and goal at the 7. Taylor goes in motion. Deeker stays on as the quarterback. Deeker rolls.
He's in.
Tucks it in. And he gets spins to the goal line. He's in for the touchdown. Chris Deeker.
Good decision.
A rushing touchdown. And that'll be another rushing touchdown for
Here it
Deeker.
is. He cuts up right here. He plants the foot, and this guy's a load and in tremendous shape. I asked him in the food line in the food line. We do a lot of talking now. He's 6'5". He towers. I'm 6'3". He towers over me. And I thought he was maybe 200 pounds. He was 235, Nick.
Wow.
And look how lean he is. He's been a real weapon running the football.
Ready for this? Deeker has a rushing touchdown, a passing touchdown, and a receiving touchdown, all in the first half.
Wow, yeah.
How about that?
Well, that's what was the topic of my conversation, knowing that he's Mr. Triple Threat. I said, you going to kick return? You going to return kicks tomorrow? Jokingly, he said, hey, don't be surprised. And I think what he was talking about was Calvin Fantz.
Here's the placement, the kick on the way by Patrick Clark, and this one is good again. So with the PAT going through, the Beijing Lions now have a 28-19 lead.
And you're watching the Super Series on CAFL. Here's the end of the triple threat. This is a hat trick. Gets a little seal block on the right edge, and that's all he needs for number 5 to complete the, as Mick said, catching, throwing, passing. And speaking of rushers, here's our leading rushers through 3 weeks. Dak Britt, the quarterback that you'll see for Shenzhen in a run-oriented offense with 183 yards and over a 6-yard per carry average, and Adrian Ferns right behind him. So the two of them together for Shenzhen have over 300 rushing yards and 7 touchdowns. Deshaun Johnson for Guangzhou is a 315-pounder. Then Garcia, who you're watching today, Sean Kalinamoko, comes off the edge sometimes as a wide receiver. David Aku, Mayorga, you're watching right now.
It's strange because I think that the reason that Guangzhou has kind of turned the corner now has been the running of Deshaun Johnson. And we'll see him a little bit later on Sunday.
He's been a force. He's not just one of those 300-pound blockers. He's running people over, and he's another great all-around athlete. You'll see him later. We've seen him throw the ball 80 yards through the air.
It's true.
And he's a great lineman.
So we have seen players get a chance to try different things.
Yeah, that's fun. That was the original hook of arena football.
Here is Clark's kick.
Nobody there.
No, it's going to bounce and hit the back wall. It'll come out.
It was like one of those in-between fly balls to shallow left center. The second baseman didn't get back. The center fielder didn't come forward. And
it drops for a ground rule double. They'll put it at the 5-yard line.
Yeah. So here's an important juncture. We're in the final minute of the first half. Dalian's been valiant and has had the lead twice, to the surprise of everybody who's been following the league. They're down 9 now. They have the ball with 57 seconds left. And Beijing's going to get the ball to start the second half, right? So I think points are huge for Dalian's upset chance right now.
And it's funny because Dalian actually had a couple things that went awry. They had a field goal attempt that was missed and returned for a touchdown, and then a failed onside kick attempt where this first half could be in a total different direction. First and 10, 5-yard line. Garcia, two-step drop in his own end zone, double clutch. Incomplete. Looking for Richardson, and defending on the play was James Romaine.
And Romaine all over him now, and you can see that the quarterback, Garcia, has sort of a limited range in his shotgun. Visit us at CAFLChina.com and read all about us in China, and at CFLfootball.com in the United States, and like us on Facebook, and you can check us out on YouTube for all our tremendous coverage off the field and on.
Second and 10, 5-yard line. Talib Wise comes in motion for Dalian. Errant snap, one-handed grab by Garcia, throws into double coverage, and this is incomplete.
And as all the U.S. commentators have drilled into our viewers' heads in the last few years, very dangerous to throw across your body and back across the field. And there was Torres Jones, who almost had another pick.
Torres Jones with 4 interceptions this season. So now we're looking at a 3rd and 10 for Phil Garcia. Jen Ma wide to the far side. Wise will be in the slot. No high motion here. Richardson on the right. Looking left as Garcia throws incomplete. Jen Ma says he wants a flag. He's not going to get it.
No, there's no flag for dropping the ball.
Yeah, good coverage also by Sing Long Shung.
Right in his hands. Yeah, this he wasn't touched. No. No. Not sure where he comes up with that, but here's the important thing. If they don't convert this 4th down, total disaster at the end of the half, because Beijing will get the ball back with plenty of time.
Absolutely. So they need a first down to the Lions. Richardson and Ma go to the left.
5 straight misfires for Garcia right now. Oh, they're going to kick it away on the field goal.
They're going to try a field goal here as Wise will be the holder for Garcia.
Burned once on this strategy already.
High snap. Oh. Somehow they got that kick away, and it doesn't go very far. It's out of bounds at the 20-yard line.
I think he deliberately saw that it was going to be blocked and yanked it left. A very heads-up play by the kicker, because I thought that was about to be stuffed back into his face. Don't know how it was not.
Somehow Garcia was able to get that ball out of the harm's way.
Yeah, watch the catch. Oops. And yeah, he kicked that left somehow. That's a soccer player's experience there.
Yeah,
so they do get it off the goal line anyway, Nick.
That had block written all over it. I don't know how he got it out of there, to be honest. First and 10 at the 19-yard line for the Beijing Lions with plenty of time left. 38 seconds, and let's see what Clint Dozel is going to draw up here as his team leads at 28-19.
That's his specialty for the Hall of Fame quarterback, and Terry Bates he knows he's got to put a plug in the hole in the dam right now.
Taylor to the far side. Wu comes to the left. Romaine will be in high motion. Collis, two-step drop, looking for Romaine, caught near the goal line and down at the 1.
That didn't take long, did it? Nope. And Collis gets right back on track in an impressive way with a 20-yard connection to number 25.
He almost broke the plane. So now, with 1st and goal and 29 seconds left, the Beijing Lions look to pad their lead as they get ready to take the break at halftime.
How'd they stop the clock? There's no timeouts left for Dalian. Did Beijing call time, or did he go out of bounds? Was he ruled out of bounds?
I think they rolled him out of bounds.
The clock stops with 29. Knowing Clint, he would have let it go down to about 10. And he still may. Let's see if he takes it in.
Collis under center. Tosses, and the fullback will not get in. That is Shang Yu Zhang out of Qingdao. And Tianjin Institute, a 19th rounder, not able to turn the corner.
Now watch where they stop the clock here, Nick. 12, 11, 10. Yep, that's where they stop it. So not sure that the object was to score it. I think if it did, it was a bonus, but he's not that unhappy with running the clock out. We're back with you this evening in Qingdao. Where are we? Guangzhou, China. At 7 p.m. our time. And that would be 7 a.m. your time if you're watching live on One World Sports. And Qingdao, I guess that's what threw me, will play Shanghai. Qingdao, Shanghai. Both teams 2-1. Both teams with the win are in the driver's seat with only one weekend left before we go for the China Bowl. How do you size that one up, Nick? I know who my favorite is. What's yours?
What, in this game at 7 o'clock tonight?
Yeah.
I got to go Shanghai.
Me too.
I don't know if Qingdao can bounce back after losing last week. They went against Beijing, and I saw both teams practice this week.
You can go online, by the way, and read my preview of that game and all the weekend's games coming up at CAFLfootball.com.
They seemed a little bit down. I don't know if they can recover.
Right. That's how I feel.
2nd and goal, 1 yard line, 13 seconds left. Taylor comes in motion. Mayorga to the goal line, touchdown. Well, he is a touchdown scoring machine. He had 1 run for a touchdown last week. He now has another run today and another touchdown. 4 touchdowns for Rustin Mayorga, and I think that's just his first carry today. So he's got 4 touchdowns and 10 carries on the season.
Not much to it. Yeah, a little bit of a momentum. You can't set your halfbacks back very deep, your fullbacks back very deep, so you got to rely on the big guys up front to get you a little bit of a crack. And that's one of the strengths, as I mentioned in my preview, is the offensive line of Beijing.
Patrick Clark's extra point is good.
Well, he's making that look easy, isn't he?
Oh yeah, he's been the best kicker by far in the CAFL. So with the extra point, it's now 35-19, and just like that, it was a close game. This game has now kind of gotten away from the Dalian Dragon Kings.
And Beijing will get the ball to start the second half. We're into the second half of the Super Series. This is weekend 4 of 6, and the road to Shanghai goes through here. Guangzhou this weekend, Shenzhen at the Dalian Arena next weekend on the 29th and 30th, live on One World Sports. And then finishes up back in Shanghai, that beautiful metropolitan, cosmopolitan city at the Oriental Stadium. The runners-up will play for 3rd and 4th place in a doubleheader on Saturday the 5th, and then our China Bowl between our 1st and 2nd place leaders in the standings will play for the title on Sunday at 3. Somebody must have thrown a freebie into the 3rd row.
I think so.
And this guy has figured out who's number 1.
He's got the yellow on for his Beijing Lions.
Look at that smile.
Fans love it.
The kids love the music, as you can tell. As if on cue. Hey, look at that. Got a free. The Judge football is going home with this lucky fan. Put it under the Christmas tree. Wrap it up again. And by the way, they do celebrate Christmas here. You're starting to see the decorations already in the malls around town.
Here's a low line drive kick, and it'll hit the back wall. It'll come out to the 5-yard line.
So, again, getting back to the game, this late second quarter sort of collapse by Dalian has enabled Beijing to go up by 16. They get the ball to start the 3rd quarter with a touchdown, would go up maybe 23. This would really be tough for Terry Bates' team, which is not built to come from behind. The long passing game, not their strength. Clint Dalzell's team is strong in every aspect. And after a slow start, starting to assert themselves.
It was 19-14 after Woodard's kickoff return for a touchdown. Dalian had the lead, and since then, Taylor with a touchdown reception, Deeker a run, and Mayorga another run as well. 1st and goal, 5-yard line. It's been all Beijing late 2nd quarter. Wise in motion. Garcia loads up, and Wise, a nice catch, leaping, and out of bounds at the 20-yard line.
Nice 15-yard gain for Wise, and Garcia under some pressure
and not the tallest at only 5'10", 205, somehow 225, found a little bit of a passing lane to get that ball out.
Another good look at it. Nice leaping catch by Talib Wise.
He has 4 catches in the first half.
Puts him over 30 for the season. And with the quarterback struggles that Dalian has had, that shows you how talented he really is.
Only 8 completions, 4 of them to Wise. 7 completions.
1st and 10, 20-yard line. Motion here. And they're throwing deep, looking for Richardson. Intercepted by Torres Jones. That's his 2nd of the game and 5th of the season. And he's tackled at the 7-yard line. Another interception for Torres Jones.
Wow, how about Torres? Now, Richardson, if he had cut off this route and Garcia was looking for him to, could have curled back and picked up 25 yards, but kept running straight into Jones, who was giving ground. He never got past 24. 24, look at him. Perfect center field play by number 24, who's eyeing it all the way, spots the ball, tracks it like a veteran defensive player that he is. Very professional interception by 24.
And that'll be the last play of the first half as the Beijing Lions make their way to the locker room with a halftime lead of 35-19 over the Dalian Dragon Kings. Standing by on the field right now with Clint Dozell is our Sandra Park. Sandra.
观众你们好，现在在我旁边的是北京的主教练。Thank you so much, Coach, for talking to us. I just wanted to ask, like, how are you going to carry this momentum that you just gained from the second quarter into the next half of the game?
Well, I'm going to go wake my guys up. We came out, didn't start very fast. They came out and put it on us, I'll be honest with you, in the first quarter. And we finally woke up a little bit in the second quarter. So we're going to get our groove back.
All right. Well, good luck for the second half. Thank you so much, Coach, for talking to us. Thank you. 刚刚教练说呢，他们的球员在第1节的时候有一点点好像不太适应，所以他说第2节的时候他们稍微打出了水准，所以他说他现在在中场休息的时候要跟他们的球员再多说几句话，让他们下半场打得更精彩。那我们现在把现场交回给摄影棚，now throw it back upstairs to the guys.
Thanks, Sandra. This week, we turned the corner. We've been here for 7 weeks, and if the guys were starting to drag, something really special happened back in North America that really put some dance in their step again. When we come back at the half, I'll tell you all about it. It was a social media explosion. The national networks jumping on board with us here at the CAFL. It's the China Arena Football League, live from Guangzhou on One World Sports. And we'll be back to tell you all about that right after
CAFL 中国美式室内橄榄球联盟新推出了其官方设计的图标，合并了中国和美国各自的国旗颜色，星星的形状是他们的共同点，而这6颗星则代表了建立之初的6支橄榄球队。中国的首都城市队北京雄狮代表着传统、力量和保卫的象征，金黄色则标志着财富、好运和权力。一切均归属于这个中国历史中心。上海以其壮观和现代的城市天际线而著名，您会在天行者队的标志中找到这一特色，而这一切都包含在一个椭圆的橄榄球形内。黄色代表着土地，淡蓝色代表大海，再到代表深邃的夜空的深蓝色。以强大的电子商务而著名的南部中心城市是广州，人口超过4400万。这个城市拥有强大的工业实力，而且接近香港。广州的队名为超能量，它的基本颜色为黑色，这一简洁又酷的颜色代表着能量与坚强的意志。深圳是南方城市，在过去的25年间，我们看到了电子商务的蓬勃发展，它呈现了中国现代的社会风貌。鲜艳的颜色代表了当地的气候和土地的颜色，而眼镜蛇则是当地的一种极具攻击性的品种。能够快速发起攻击。更传统一些的可能要数大连龙王队，大连队标的蓝色代表沼泽，而龙王则是掌管整个海洋的统领者。更低调一些的队标应该是美丽的沿海城市青岛了，这也是新加入的一个队。我们可以看到凉爽的海风摇曳着棕榈树林，这里也被经常称为中国的圣地亚哥。这就是青岛的帆船队，也是著名的青岛啤酒发源地。
We're at the break in Game 1 of Super Series 4, the CAFL China Arena Football League, live from Guangzhou, China, where Beijing surges late in the second half to take what seems to be a commanding lead over the Dalian Dragon Kings at 35-19. I'm Lou Tilley, along with Nick Moninghoff and Sandra Parks. And this week, as I started to say before the break, as we turned the corner for home, we've been here for a long time. The guys got on an airplane, maybe starting to drag a little bit. But when we landed and unpacked and logged back on, there was a social media explosion back in the U.S. about our league, a fun league. And here's what that's all about.
Is the CAFL more fun than the NFL? Judging by the touchdown celebrations, the answer is yes. Mike Washington has helped to set the standard for fun after touchdown. He says it's a new league with a new groove.
Here in China, I mean, it's the first year. I mean, you really trying to set an example, and you put on a performance for the fans too, because they want to come see something exciting too. It's like it's different from the NFL. You know, NFL you can't really do anything without getting a penalty now. So you know, some fans like to see the dancing and celebration that close to the field.
As far as his coach Derek Stingley is concerned, he's all for it.
I've been around this game for so long, it's almost like I look for things like that to happen. If I don't see it, I feel like as if something is missing. For me as a coach, at times I used to have celebration periods. I haven't been doing it lately, but early in my career I used to do it because that's what brings the fans into it. You know, it creates something for the players to be a personality and not just a football guy with a helmet and shoulder pads, to where the fans can have a favorite. And I love seeing it, and I'm pretty sure the fans enjoy it as well.
The Chinese players have taken notice and know what makes a good celebration.
The more over the top it is, the better. To be honest, I think celebrations are really fun. It's part of the game. I think truly it's like an art form. Just like a touchdown can be an art form, I think celebrations can be an art form. And so it's a representation of who you are.
But why can't the NFL enjoy that same freedom of expression?
I don't know. You probably have to ask Roger Goodell that, man, because it's hard to score, period, in any type of football, NFL especially, college, our game. So you spend all week practicing, putting in the hard work. So when you get in the end zone, you want to express it, feel good, like I got in the end zone, because it's tough to do.
Mick Moninghoff reporting. How this all happened, folks, back home is we launched our YouTube channel, which you can go to by Googling YouTube and CAFL China Arena Football League. We launched our YouTube channel only a few days before, and one enterprising news site found the highlights of our Shenzhen game with a lot of those celebrations in there, and he started writing about how much more fun our league was than the others. And then they found our groove, best of grooves, which is really our best of celebrations video on the YouTube site. And before we know it, ESPN had it, Fox 1 Sports, CNN, USA Today, The Bleacher Report, SB Nation, all over. In all, we think we reached 36 million different people in 1 week, Mick. Nobody knew about this league a few weeks ago. And in one 36-hour period, here, take a look at this. Look at the sites that not only ran our stuff, but wrote stories around it, and how entertaining this league and how refreshing this league is. That's in the web articles alone, and you can see us on YouTube. We track 238,000 plus viewers. That's unbelievable. And on the Twitter land just went crazy as all of these sites linked us through Twitter as well. And then our own Facebook, our own Twitter account looks something like, what? I'm sorry. I'm excited. And Marty Judge, if you're home and watching right now, and Ron Jaworski and Dick Vermeil, all of our principals, this was something really special. We're proud of, and we're happy that you're joining us. And the CAFL continues from Guangzhou. It's the Series 4, right after this, with Beijing on top.
CAFL 中国美式室内橄榄球从理想变为现实。创始人马蒂加季，加季集团总裁，费城灵魂队的投资人之一。时机就是一切，政府铺平了发展体育的道路。2012年 ，AFL 美国室内橄榄球发起进攻全球市场的策略。 CRFA 中国橄榄球协会发出正式推荐信函。AFL Global 全球美式室内橄榄球联盟开发全面的推广中国橄榄球联赛的计划，创立了中国大学联赛，并在北京体育大学举办了第一个橄榄球训练营。在北京首都体育馆进行了第一次专业表演赛，并通过北京电视台播出。CAFL 中国美式室内橄榄球联盟拉开了在中国开展公开选拔赛的序幕。比赛时间和地点：10月1日周末北京乐视中心，10月8日周末大连体育中心，10月15日周末青岛市国信体育馆，10月22日周末广州体育馆，10月29日周末深圳大运体育中心，11月5日周末上海东方体育中心。
And we're back at the half live from Guangzhou, China, where Beijing leads the Dalian Dragon Kings, Dragon Kings.
Oh, come on.
But it's only the first of 3 games. Nick, take us through the first half highlights.
All right. There'll be anticlimactic after that, Lou, but let's take a look at the Dalian and Beijing highlights of the first half. You had Calvin Vance taking a kickoff return, what looked like it was going to be returned all the way for a touchdown. Here's a linebacker getting a chance to return a kick, but a flag would nullify that celebration. But the Dalian Dragon Kings did have a lead in this one until Colin Taylor, or rather Clint Deeker, comes up with a touchdown catch from Luke Collis. That was 7-6 at that point. 13-7 on the comeback trail for Dalian as Kent Richardson takes a pass, goes about almost 50 yards, 49.2, we'll call it, from Garcia. Richardson into the end zone for the score. A failed field goal by Bing Wong turns into a touchdown as James Romaine plays it off the net and takes this one back 56 yards to the house. 14-13 at that point as Beijing went back out front, but Dalian did take the lead shortly thereafter as Maurice Woodard would return a kick 52 yards, and it was a 19-14 lead for the Dalian Dragon Kings. But from that point on, it was all Beijing as Deeker hit Taylor with a touchdown. Here's the return by Woodard as it was a short-lived 19-14 advantage. And after that, like I said, Deeker to Taylor for a touchdown, Deeker with a touchdown run, and Mayorga a touchdown run, all Beijing. And Beijing led at halftime by a score of 35-19. That's where we stand now. The second half is just around the corner. Hope you're enjoying all our coverage here from Guangzhou today as 35-19, Beijing with a lead over Dalian. Back with a moment on One World Sports.
各位观众，你们好！现在在我旁边的是大连队的主教练。Thank you so much, Coach, for talking to us. I just have a really quick question. What did you tell your guys to get back in the game for the second half?
I told them we just got to keep our pose. I think we're doing a good job. We scored first, and we're doing a pretty decent job on defense. Just had to clean up a few assignments, and that's it.
All right. Well, good luck for the second half. Thank you so much for talking to us.
谢谢。
我教练说呢，他们刚刚其实第一节打的其实蛮不错的，然后第二节开始有点小小的失误，所以他就是要跟他们的球员说，只要把这些失误纠正过来，他们应该是不会有问题的。那我们现在把现场交回给摄影棚。I'll throw it back upstairs to the guys.
Sandra Parks handling interviews from down on the field in both Mandarin and in English for our dual network feed, courtesy of our company, Lou Tilley Media, the CAFL Football Network, on One World Sports back in the United States, and at the same time on the iQIYI Network here in China. And we're at the half of our first game of our weekend triple header, and Beijing, 3-0 coming into this game, leads the winless Dalian Dragons at 35-19 after scoring the last couple of touchdowns to end the first half. I'm Lou Tilley along with Mick Moneyhoff, who's calling the play-by-play all through the 18-game series for us. And we're ready to go, and Beijing will have the ball to start the second half. Here's Mick.
All right, thank you, Lou. James Romaine is set to return this kick as Zhen Shu will kick it. One of his better kicks to the goal line. Romaine to the 5, 10, nice cut, 15, still going, 20, the ball is loose, and it goes right through the kicker's hands. Who came up with it?
Deeker. Who else?
Wow. Zhen Shu had a chance to come up with this fumble recovery, and the kicker was not able to do it. It went right through his mitts.
Remember when we started the game with Calvin Fantz back there to catch kicks? The linebacker, the defensive end, this might be why. To my recollection, I think that is Romaine's 4th fumble in the Super Series in Week 4. He's tremendous legs, tremendous playmaker, but he's been a little bit loose with the ball and shaken up, it looks like, too.
It was a good hit. The ball came loose, and Deeker recovered.
Yeah, what else can he do?
Wow, the only thing he hasn't done is kick the football today.
He's the Iron Man all-around playmaker, that's for sure. If we had that award, maybe we will by next weekend. You can see the good look at the Zenith helmets. They're a special sponsor here of our shoulder pads and helmets. And we'll be talking with some of the executives who are here watching their first CAFL game and show you that helmet coming up in our next game.
Tian Hao Zhang is the center. Gazer goes in motion. Collis looking his way through it. Behind him, incomplete. Jun Xing Zhang, they call him Gazer. Didn't have a chance to get that one. Was behind him.
And Collis, who came into today's game as the leading percentage passer by far in the CAFL, 72%, is now 7 for 13.
Well, Beijing got off to a kind of a shaky start in this one.
7 for 13 for 80 yards, 2 touchdowns and 1 interception. Just his second of the season. And then Deeker, though, 3 for 3 for 24 yards and a touchdown as a quarterback.
The fullback right here is Shang Yu Zhang. Oh, we got offside defense. Well, they stopped the play, which means it's going to be on the offense.
Yeah.
So Amir Ismail.
Crossman on a defense, 5-yard penalty.
Well, I heard Clint Dazell, you just took a touchdown away by blowing the ball dead. He had a free play, and Taylor was running free in the end zone. Oh, I'm sorry, Collis broke it for a touchdown. And your call, I understand, Mick, you said the right thing. They only blow it dead if it's on the offense.
So there you go.
Unless Carl Paganelli thought that the defensive end, in this case Amir Ismail, had an unimpeded path to the quarterback. I don't know.
Regardless, now we have a whistle from the side. Carl Paganelli is our referee, the umpire Vincenzo Calandrelli. Headlinesman Wade Wagner, Ricardo Zambidri is our line judge, and Bud McCluskey is our back judge today.
Yeah, that's not a bunch of guys from South Philly, by the way.
A lot of vowels out there.
They're all from Italy, who have been so helpful in coming over with us on the Super Series to help referee all these games.
So this is going to turn into Well, did they reset the ball? They did. Okay, so it's going to be second and looks like 2nd and 5 at the 15. Wu to the near side. Romaine goes in motion. One-step drop. Romaine makes the catch at the 10 and stood up at about the 8, and that's all for James Romaine.
7-yard gain. Simple little bread and butter play of the Arena League with no arena linebacking play, able to get in the passing lane. That's 7 yards just about any time you want it.
Burks came up and made the hit. It is a first down, 1st and goal at the 8-yard line. 35-19, Beijing had the lead at the half and trying to add to it right here. Just underway in the 3rd quarter, Terry Bates' defense has to stiffen.
We've said that a lot in 4 weeks now with Dalian. They've been backed up inside their 10, it seems like, all the time.
Collis, 2-step, toss, complete. Romaine makes the catch. Holding on is Burks. He won't come down, and finally forward progress at the 6. Burks wouldn't let him get away.
Romaine fighting and fighting and fighting, and even after the fumble, Coach Clint Ozell coming right back to number 25. And look at the effort by both of these guys. That's trying to rip the ball out, not his head.
Call it a gain of about 2. 2nd and goal at the 6-yard line. Burks is a big hitter. Plays the position really well.
And the special football of the CAFL, the Spalding, the Judge, we call it, after our founder, Marty Judge. Now, Dalian has burned a lot of timeouts in non-traditional game situations, trying to stop the bleeding here.
Timeout.
And we have a timeout taken by the Dragon Kings.
Their first timeout.
Their first timeout in the 2nd half. And you can follow us on YouTube. We just told you about that explosion of hits. 240,000 people going to our YouTube channel to look at all our great content from our crew that's been with us full time, and not just working game day, but all through the week and all over China to take you on tour with us. And like us on Facebook at AFL-China. And we've picked up so many followers, and we're so grateful. And all our players are into it now. They're posting their own videos, their own photos. And it's just, we talk about an electronic scrapbook of this amazing tour.
2nd and goal at the 6-yard line for Beijing, trying to add to this 35-19 advantage. Romaine, Wu, and now Taylor comes in motion. Quick look, Sinet Wu, touchdown! Erwin Sinet Wu with a touchdown reception. That is his 4th touchdown catch of the season.
And a simple little slant play, and Wu, I can see if he got the celebration. Yeah, it's good. No, back rimmed it. But as long as he can do this, we don't care about his free throw shooting. Simple flat, got his body across, and it's a stocky little body. So Collis knows to throw it in there. Nobody's going to reach around him, and he picks it up for the TD.
Patrick Clark, who's been perfect today, is on for the extra point, trying to make it 42-19. Sinet Wu is the holder. There's the snap. Kick on the way. No good. First time today that it does not go through for Patrick Clark. And our score remains 41-19 for the Beijing Lions over the Dalian Dragon Kings here in the 3rd quarter with 11-12 to play. Another look at the touchdown.
超高的得分，GMA 式室内橄榄球强势来袭。CAFL 巡回赛继续在中国展开，最终会在上海角逐中国网冠军。日期是11月6日，北京雄狮、上海天行者、大连龙王、青岛快船、深圳眼镜蛇、广州超能量，中国体坛新运动。不要错过11月6日星期日在上海东方体育馆举行的中国碗，并通过 CAFLChina.com 购买门票。
Some of the young fans here in Guangzhou, this huge metropolis which barely dodged the typhoon in the last 24 hours. But it did affect us and knocked our air conditioning out and sent our temperature up above 40 centigrade, I believe. But we'll be back on the road on Monday as we head down to Shenzhen for stop 5 of our 6-city tour, winding up in Shanghai the weekend of November 5 and 6, and the big China Bowl, the championship game on Sunday the 6th at 3, and you'll watch it only here on One World Sports. I'm Lou Tilley. Here's Mick Monahoff for the play-by-play.
41-19, Beijing with a commanding lead now here in the third quarter over the Dalian Dragon Kings. As Patrick Clark's kick will go the distance to the end zone. Here is Maurice Woodard at the back line. Straight forward. He already has one return today. Dodges a tackler. There's a flag on the play. Woodard in a foot race. He'll get to the end zone and go in. But let's just see if this is going to count. Looks like they're going to wave it off.
This was so far behind the play. This had to be.
They go pushing it back.
20 yards behind
on a
the
receiving
play.
team, half the distance to the goal line, first down.
Now maybe it was a dangerous play, and I think Carl threw the flag himself, and he's been around a long time, and he throws the flags judiciously. Watch as he clears the area. This will be 15 yards behind him. It hasn't happened. Was that it?
Yeah, Zhen Ma knocked down Torres Jones with a block.
So it was germane to the play. It wasn't incidental to the play, right? It's just a late throw, I think.
Well, the unfortunate thing for Zhen Ma is the returner was already by him.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, he had no reason to even touch him.
Right. Do you have to call that? I know. You can call a penalty anytime you want, I think, in the sport of football, except against the University of Miami in the last few seconds against Duke.
Spoken like a true ACC fan right there. Anyway.
Oh, well, that was the worst
But here's
call.
the thing.
The whole officiating crew got suspended after that game.
Zhen Ma should never touched him. He didn't have to.
Well, that's experience, too.
1st and 10. Call it the 1 yard line. And this will be a safety as Phil Garcia is taken down by the MMA fighter Paul Chang, and he didn't even tap him out.
Somebody block him? Did anybody block him?
I don't think so.
Oh, that's the last thing in the world Terry Bates needed. Backed up to his... Well, look, they get a touchdown taken off the board. This is a 9-point and more swing, potentially. But Beijing, championship team, taking advantage of it. You see it again, guys, if you have it. That's an important swing of events. The touchdown called off, taken off the board, right? So they have to start from their own 2. So instead of scoring 7 on 1st down, bad exchange, by the way. That's why Garcia didn't get the ball off when he could have. And then Chang comes through untouched. So it's 2 points. That's a 9-point swing there and more to come because Beijing on the safety will get the ball back. Oh, look at Chang. He's fired up. Way to go. Way to go. Eat well tonight, big boy.
I think he will.
Clint loves him, by the way. Well, Chang says, I deserve more than 2 points for that.
I got more than that in an MMA fight.
And how long? What's the count on MMA?
Until the guy taps out.
Taps out.
Until he's had enough.
He's had enough? Yeah. I don't watch a lot of it.
I think he had enough right there.
He's also an actor, though, he would remind you, Nick.
It's true.
He's appeared in the Night at the Museum movies with Ben Stiller as one of the Huns. Colorful group we have here.
This ball will not even... Well, they're going to mark this out.
Just outside.
It's going to be marked out of bounds in flight at the 19-yard line.
Are they going to throw it back?
No, I'm keeping that.
That's nice.
Going to mark it at the 20.
Into his little girl. They probably don't realize those balls are worth a few bucks.
I think they're like $59 US.
Yeah.
What does that translate to?
361 RMB.
That's not bad.
Yeah.
It was a good day at the ballpark when I got that ball. So we're looking at 43-19. As the Beijing Lions in a commanding lead now, as we still have 10 minutes to play in the third quarter.
DJ Ken Bozart digging into his files for a real oldie there from.
He went Stevie Wonder on
Stevie Wonder, yeah.
Jun Xinjiang goes in motion. They're looking his way. He has the reception hog-tied and thrown back by Darnell Burks. Forward progress marked at the 25-yard line. He's a little Chinese receiver, but he can hang on and take a hit. 5'8", 156, Lou.
There's a place for those guys. And you notice how he's been well schooled by Clint Dozell and his assistant coach, Adam Smith, to catch that ball out in front. Don't let it get to your body. Good coverage.
Going to mark it at the 25-yard line, right at midfield.
Collis has opened the second half now with 4 straight completions.
And it's going to be a quarterback keep. Collis just gains a couple. Call it the 23.
You may hear our public address announcer in the background, all in Mandarin. That's Chris Lee from our core group, our company out of Beijing. Chris Lee, who we've been working with and coaching to try and help him explain to the crowd on hand about the basics of the game. We also show videos during the games and beforehand of how the game's played, scoring, certain terms, penalties, that sort of thing.
With a lead of 43-19 here in the third quarter and 8:30 to play, I think the Beijing Lions just may take the air out of this a little bit. They tried Collis for a first down. Here we're looking at a 3rd and 3. Quick dump complete. That is Gazer. Makes the catch in traffic. Sandwich, but hangs on and grabs his hit as he's down at the 11-yard line.
He really got crushed by Burks on the tail end. And first of all, great one-handed catch. Good concentration. Look out in the left ear hole. And that hurts more than any other blow in football when it comes from the side. Here it comes, bam. And they're going to make sure he's okay. I don't think he's ever been hit like that.
Jun Xinjiang, a real tough receiver. Going to go off.
Well, the front end of that play was so impressive, Mick, when he caught it with one hand out in front of him and in traffic, you know, in linebacker territory. But they're going to make him go inside and make sure that he's fine. And our great medical staff goes to work here. Our trainers, first people these guys see in the morning, last guy they see at night. They've been keeping the shop open for 18 hours at a time at our hotels. And our doctors, Dr. Gillespie, Marty Gillespie, and our Chinese doctor, Dr. Alex from Shanghai, who's just been a godsend in more ways than one. I'll be writing about them later this week.
1st and 10 at the 11-yard line, and a quick toss here to James Romaine, dancing to the 5, down to about the 4.
I think it's a Romaine carry. I think that was a lateral that Romaine picked up.
Well, let's take a look, see if it goes forward or not. I'm going to call it a completed pass.
Call it a pass?
Yeah, it looks like it had forward trajectory.
Okay, because, folks, we're a startup, and I'm the statistician, so I'm going with Nick on that.
It was my call, and I say it was a forward pass.
You got it. Got it.
Complete the Romaine.
I'm sure Collis thanks you.
Yeah, there you go. So it turns into a 2nd and 4. Where are they going to spot it? At the 4-yard line.
And Dalian, it could have been so different the start of the second half. There's timeout on the field. Beijing calls time.
And so Beijing wants to talk about it as we have 6:48 to play here in our third quarter, trying to add to their commanding 43-19 lead.
And again, I made reference, I'm going to write about the trainers and the medical staff and what important roles they've played for the players and the staff. It's an interesting story. Look for it at CAFLfootball.com and in China at CAFLchina.com. Both of our websites managed by Lou Tilley Media and our CAFL Football Network. And you can catch all of our content. We hope to do a video story on this too, Mick, on YouTube. Go to CAFL. China Arena Football League and see all our content, including our tours with the players all across this great country. And like us on Facebook and see all our links to our materials and our videos there as well. What a world we live in, that 35 million people tapped into us back in the United States. And I didn't even give you the numbers on how many in China are beginning to follow us now, Mick. We, by eightfold, our following went up 800% in China this week alone.
Wow. And I think even one of the China sites is doing a like a vote for your favorite dance competition.
Dance celebration of the year on Weibo.
Right.
If you probably know it back in the States, WEIBO is sort of like Facebook here. You can't get Facebook here in China, although we've managed to somehow. But yeah, Weibo is the Facebook of China, and we're picking up a lot of followers here as well. And guess what? They like American football. Yeah, they don't know it, but that doesn't mean they're not going to get to know it. It's everything. You know, we go down the street, McDonald's, Burger King, Papa John's, Starbucks, everywhere. Figures the football will come.
I think I passed 4 iPhone stores on my little walk last night.
Oh,
Second and 4 at the 4-yard line. Deeker is in at quarterback, and he's going to send Colin Taylor in motion. Play action fake. Deeker keeps it himself, rolls, hit. Not getting in. Darnell Burks forced him out. And now a flag comes out. May have been a little unnecessary. Well, I thought he took an extra shot once he was already out of bounds.
He waits a little too long to make his decision here, and Dalian was able to close inside out Burks again. Right
Personal
about
foul.
here.
Number 77, Black. 10-yard penalty.
So they got Tivis, the offensive guard and tight end.
Okay.
For, you know, he's protecting his quarterbacks. Unlike hockey there. He thought his quarterback got roughed up a little bit, and he comes in and makes his presence felt.
So push it back to the 15-yard line.
Got to protect your guys.
Somebody has to be the enforcer.
Yeah, yeah. Teammates notice that. Coming up at 7, a great game. Shanghai will battle for second place alone against Qingdao. Second half, our doubleheader.
Both teams 2-1. Shanghai quarterback Shane Austin coming off a 9-touchdown performance last weekend.
9.
That's right. Deeker throws, tight end, makes the catch. That's Shun Zhang, and he is upended at the 6-yard line. Actually, he came out of the backfield. He was not the tight end. He was the fullback.
Oh, you're right. Good call. But it's the same idea. Slips behind the charging linebacker and defensive end. And they get it to they tried him earlier on for a loss of 1, but here he picks up 9.
So it turns into should be a 4th down play.
Here it is. 4th and 7.
4th and 7.
Clint's not a big fan of the field goal back in the States. I think in the last 3 years with the Soul, he's attempted 3 field goals total.
Yeah, but with Freebird, he's got a real good kicker, too.
Right.
So you have Sinet Wu comes to the near side. Colin Taylor is in the slot. Romaine will be in high motion. Zhang is the fullback, sets up the block. Deeker scrambling, caught, and flips it into the stands. But I think they're going to say he was already tackled.
And who? Guess who?
Is that Jordan Mosley?
Nope, Amir Ismail.
Okay.
Keeps his inside-out position. Look, takes away the angle from Deeker, cuts off the angle, forces him into the boards. Great play. 43, having an all CAFL season.
So the score remains 43-19 as Dalian takes over on downs. We'll come back in a moment on One World Sports.
互联网
拉近你我的距离，视频让娱乐生活触手可及。爱奇艺不断连接人与服务，让人们可以平等便捷地获得更多更好的视频，以及跟视频相关的全方位生活娱乐服务。爱奇艺，悦享品质。
It's the China Arena Football League live from the other side of the globe. And the faces should tip you off. And these young fans are going to follow us all the way to Shanghai and the China Bowl, the big one for the championship, the first ever, the weekend of November 5 and 6. The championship game will come to you Sunday the 6th only here on One World Sports, as well as on the iQIYI network, watching live in China as well. I'm Luke Tilley along with Mick Montyhoff and Sandra Parks, who will have live reports to us throughout this day. Stop number 4 in the 6-city tour. Basketball is big. They look at the Orlando Magic jersey, I think, right there?
Yes, correct.
They love NBA over here.
Matter of fact, there's a little hoop set up on the street right outside the hotel where kids can come out and who has next? If I would have my shoes, I would have jumped in.
Yeah, me too.
Here's a quick toss. This is Richardson on a lateral, struggling, forward progress to the 15, and that is all.
See, I was going to give a completion to Garcia on that because, Mick, at the half, the under siege quarterback was just 8 for 23 for 96 yards, 2 interceptions.
You can do that.
Yeah, we'll give him that.
Want to call it a completion?
Yeah,
okay.
I think so.
Forward pass. So Richardson makes the catch. Carries it to the 16. It'll be 2nd down and 7. Gain of 3.
Richardson's been a valuable player for them. Has the 49-yard, 2-foot touchdown reception. That was the highlight of this game so far for Dalian.
Yep, goes in motion. Garcia looking for the little receiver deep. It is knocked down. They're going to get a flag. Yeah, they put a hand on him. You can't put a hand on a guy who's 5'5", 145 pounds.
Look
you
how
just
happy he
can't do it.
Look how happy he is for drawing the penalty. And
defensive pass interference.
Yeah, if he hadn't put the
automatic
left arm across the bar, across the receiver, he certainly was in good enough position to knock this ball away.
Xing Long Shang gets called for the flag.
Coaching point there for Clint Dozell.
Yep, knock the ball away. Don't touch the receiver. He had plenty of room to the ball.
Yeah.
But he put a hand on him. So it goes as an interference call on a 1st down. It's going to be 1st and 10, 24-yard line. You can't put a hand on a guy 5'5", 145.
Yeah, that'll show up.
Just can't do it. So Yip goes wide to the far side this time. And Woodard is in the slot. Wise will be in motion. Looking pump fake the Wise inside for Yip. That's incomplete. And that was Yao Su Lin on the coverage.
We got to change his name because, you know, how easy is it to say Yip? Because he saw that linebacker coming.
I don't think he had the yips, though. I mean, he just didn't get it.
No, he backed off the ball.
Okay.
Yeah. Flinch. Let's call Ricky Waters for a decision on that.
Okay. Second and 10. Football still at the 24-yard line. From the shotgun, loading up, throwing deep for Woodard. He got turned around. It's incomplete. James remained defending on the play, but if that ball is thrown to the sideline shoulder, it's probably 6.
But Garcia hasn't had but maybe 3 times to set his feet and make an on-balance throw. He's just getting it out of there. The Zenith helmet, you see, is a revolutionary design being worn exclusively by the CAFL all through our series, as well as their shoulder pads, and the players love them. We're going to interview one of their executives coming up at halftime of our evening game today and show you the cutaway, a translucent version of that helmet.
On 3rd down, this ball's picked off. That is Lin, who comes up with a pick, and his first interception of the year. He's been close a couple of times, but Yao Su Lin comes up with the interception, and it's going the other way. He has been trying so hard, Lou, and that's why he's getting such a great reception at the bench.
And now Garcia shaking his head in frustration. It's that point in the game. It's tough. It really is. The defense just sitting back and watching. And you've been watching. We talked about our explosion at the half of social media last week based on a couple of videos that we pushed out of all the fun that our guys have after touchdowns here in the CAFL. And they were picked up. This is just a small list. Look at those names. Bleacher Report, CBS, SB Nation, ESPN. We got 3 million hits there alone. The Score, USA Today, all over the country. I counted 36 different agencies that pushed out our articles. How many people tuned into our YouTube channel? Stunning. 240,000 just looking at the Skywalkers versus Shenzhen highlights last week. And then the Twitterverse absolutely blew up for us as these key news sites all pushed out the word on the new league in China. I mean, American football in China. A cumulative exposure, best as we can count, of almost 36 million Twitter followers to the new CAFL here in China. We thank all of our new fans. We hope you're watching with us on One World Sports. We thank One World Sports. We thank iQIYI Network here in China as we're simulcasting dual language productions into both nations, the U.S. and China at the same time. And we thank most of all our founder, Marty Judge, for having the dream and having the tenacity to stick with us and stick with it until it became a reality.
Good look on the bench there as Yao Su Lin celebrating that interception. Last week, Clint Dozel moved him from a defensive back into a linebacker spot. He comes up with a pick. So Beijing has it, 1st and 10. At the 15-yard line, leading this one by a score of 43-19. Luke Gallis sends a man in motion. Here is a toss to the end zone, incomplete. And that pass was intended for Zhang, who's back in the game after taking that pretty heavy hit. So Jun Xing Zhang has returned.
It's funny how the averages usually even out in sports. Beijing came in averaging 49 points a game. And Dalian came in averaging only 17. Now, Dalian had the lead when they scored their 19th point. But look at the point totals now. With this touchdown, Beijing would match their average point total for a game, and Dalian stuck at 19.
Sometimes things just don't change. 1:48 to play, 3rd quarter. Collis sends Colin Taylor in motion. And this pass to the end zone, caught for the touchdown. It should stand because it looked like the defense jumped offside. I'm going to say this one's going to hold up for Colin Taylor and company.
And there it is. That matches their season average.
On the defense, penalty declined.
Nose guard jump.
Touchdown.
Paganelli gets the call quickly, and here's the quick touchdown strike. Oh, there we go. What is that one, Mick? CT, Colin Taylor did the Charleston for us last week. I'm not sure what I call that, but I know this is a nice throw from 15 yards. Looking at Taylor all the way. Nobody else could catch this but number 17. And he's one of the most sure-handed and best at the craft in all of arena football. A great career with Cleveland.
Kick on the way is good. So the extra point goes through. Makes the score 50-19 as Colin Taylor has his 2nd touchdown reception of the season, and it's number 6 on the year. His 2nd today and 6th on the season.
I know what you meant. Now there it is again. You write the caption for this, Mr. Mick. There must be some animal, and it's not coming to mind. That is like Burt Reynolds' pose in Playgirl.
Yeah.
Fortunately, he has his clothes on.
The only thing he lost today was the coin toss at the beginning of the game.
Yeah, and he said, I like tail.
And he was wrong.
Oh, boy. No comment.
I'll tell you, Colin Taylor is the free spirit in the CAFL. There is no doubt about that.
Is Colin in the Shane Austin weekly videos as well? Is he in it? Yeah, I think he made an appearance this week.
Yes, I think he did. I think he showed up again. So after the interception by Lynn, Taylor comes up with a touchdown. I believe that is the 18th passing touchdown of the year now for Luke Collis. And the Beijing Lions are showing us why they are undefeated and will lock up an appearance in the first ever China Bowl. Fans love the kick. Goes off the net. Woodard has taken one back to the house today, and not this time as he's upended at the 10-yard line.
33 Mayorga is making a bid to be the special teamer of this game and maybe special teamer of the year. And coming soon at our websites, you can vote on the MVP of the year on offense, defense, and special teams. And there's 33, and that's at least his third big tackle on special teams in today's game.
Yep, and Mayorga has a rushing touchdown as well. 1 minute to play in this third quarter. As it's 50-19. Maurice Woodard and company just trying to do whatever they can to get positive yards and maybe add on a couple points.
28 unanswered points now. 27 unanswered points for Beijing.
That's tough. First and 10, 10-yard line. This will be Wise. No, Yip in motion. Underneath, this ball is tipped, intercepted. It is Romaine to the goal line, touchdown. And that is the first pick six ever in the history of the CAFL. James Romaine with the interception. And that is interception number 4 on the day for the Beijing Lions. Another look at it. It was tipped off the receiver's hands. Yip couldn't come in with it.
Yeah, Yip's having a rough day. And you just can't, if you can get your hands on it, you're supposed to catch it. And the ball was behind him. That was not an easy catch. But this is what these DBs live for. It's the classic tip drill that every kid practices from the time he's 7 years old on. Yeah, there you go. You got your 6. James turned out to have a pretty good day.
So Patrick Clark is on for the extra point. Placement down, kick on the way, and this one is good. Our score, 57-19, as this game is all Beijing Lions. We will take a timeout and come right back as James Romaine gets a chance to celebrate. Beijing, all here in the second half. Stay with us.
Here we go, Shanghai Skywalkers. Representing up here on the Great Wall. Trying to get us a little trick shot video up here.
Road to the Super Series.
Hey!
Gotta go through Shanghai.
Hey!
Who would have thought our league has become famous overnight because of stuff like this? James Romaine. Addy, look at pictures of the photographers. Torres Jones shooting James Romaine. Meanwhile, we're up here in the booth. I'm Lou Tilley, Mick Monahoff, Sandra Parks down on the sideline. Let's talk just a little bit about our next game coming up at 7. Right here from Guangzhou as Shanghai takes on Qingdao.
I think that could be one of the premier games in the league because both teams still have a shot at getting into the China Bowl. Both teams have 2-1 records, and so you have a chance. You have a chance to play for a championship.
The other team drops to 2-2. Yeah, it's going to be tough.
It's going to be maybe the game of the year when you get down to it. Into the slack net, and it hits the wall. So 1st and 10 at the 5-yard line. Hey, James Romaine has 2 firsts today. He has the first pick 6, and he also has the first return of a failed field goal for a touchdown. So James Romaine with 2 firsts in the CAFL. How about that?
Yeah, we've become the unofficial documentarians, which we are with our media
we have
group,
to be.
and statisticians and historians at the same time. And if we pan down here a little bit, you'd see that we really are the statisticians here. Anybody can read my handwriting.
And I keep my own charts as well. You have to. Yeah, this is the CAFL. That's what happens. That's why we are in the know. We're totally hands-on, Lou.
Yeah.
Yes, we are. 1st and 10. 5-yard line. Garcia hit as he lets it go. Look out. That was Nzegwu. Louis Nzegwu, big number 44, was all over the quarterback.
6 straight incompletions, 2 of them for interceptions, 1 of them for a touchdown for Garcia, and that's why it's not the quarterback. He's getting crushed. It's just open season on number 2 right there.
You know, Owen, the fullback, Seguin Yan, picked up 1 oncomer, but Nzegwu pretty much came clean.
Owen, who is a fine athlete out of Shanghai, is going to pick up the microphone and do tomorrow's game for us on our Chinese telecast. Sharp guy, multilingual.
Pharmaceutical salesman as well. Here is plenty of time and a deep ball. Well, Garcia shows he had his arm, but he overthrew Richardson, incomplete. So 3rd and 10 coming at the 5-yard line. That play went for 49 yards and a touchdown in the first half.
Tomorrow afternoon at 3 our time in Guangzhou, back your way on the east coast of the U.S. It's exactly 12 hours earlier, so 3 in the morning you'll see our final game of this weekend of our 4th stop on the 6-city tour. We play 3 games each weekend, and tomorrow Guangzhou, the home team. An interesting matchup against Shenzhen.
That's going to be a good one too.
2 local teams, really. Just a couple hours from each other.
It will be in Shenzhen the following week. 3rd and 10, 5-yard line. Garcia, 3-step drop. Look out, he's got to get out of the end zone. He's going down. Tackled just outside. And that was Chen Yen Chen, big number 50, lowering the boom.
And he comes out of the Mac linebacker slot and just runs around the center, who didn't slide. And that is the 5th sack of Garcia, another one for a safety, and he's been flattened on release another 4 or 5 times.
So we have a timeout taken by Dalian with 12 minutes and 25 seconds to play here in our ball game.
As Mick said, we move down to Shenzhen Monday. We pack up. At least this time we don't go through the metal detectors at the airport. We're just going to take a bus down the road to Shenzhen, which is only 20 minutes from Hong Kong. So looking forward to that stop. Our first of 3 games. On Saturday will be Dalian against Shanghai, and then Beijing against Guangzhou, and that figures to be an elimination game for Guangzhou, providing the power can win today. And then Qingdao versus Shenzhen on our final game on Sunday.
Now, I think one of the best promotions would be to give me a day off, let me go into Hong Kong with some tickets, and drum up some advanced sales for our China Bowl down in Shanghai. What do you say?
Great.
Okay.
I'm fine with that.
Who says I can't do promotions?
Here's Dalian going to kick it away again by the field goal.
And this will go out of bounds somewhere around midfield. Let's see where they mark it. Yeah, right at the 25-yard line.
So you know what they're doing? They're taking advantage of the rules here, Mick, that it'll be marked where it goes out. So in rather kicking it to the center of the field and risking a return, and Romaine has one of those already for a touchdown, they're deliberately kicking it out of bounds.
Sure.
To improve field position. That's smart.
So 1st and 10 at the 25-yard line.
Clint Dalzell, after a slow start, what did he tell Sandra? He said our guys sound asleep for the first quarter.
To wake them up. They woke up.
Once the alarm went off.
They have, ready for this, pitched a shutout in the second half, which is tough to do in arena ball.
22-zip. Well, Clint's Seoul team came within 3 minutes of doing that in a regular season game this past year, back in the U.S.
Terry Bates can only look on. 1st and 10, 25-yard line. Colin Taylor in motion. Quick toss complete. And that goes to Hoti Alea. First reception for Alea today. 5'8", 140-pounder. They call him AI.
And another indication that he's the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7th different receiver to catch a ball.
Wow.
For Beijing today. And that is another hallmark of a Clint Dalzell coach team.
Football at the 18 where it's 2nd and 4. And Alea stays in as the wideout on the near side. Taylor comes in motion. And here's the fullback again. And upended at the 10 is Xiong Yu Zhang. So the Chinese players getting a chance to shine here as Dalzell likes to give them their opportunity, up 57-19 here in the 4th quarter.
There's an injury time. He's got a Chinese quarterback that he's been working in too, Mick. Might we see him, you think?
You might, as we get down near goal line situations. He's been running the receiver, number 21, Jun Xing Zhang, the kid out of Ole Miss, has a little quarterback in him.
Okay, use your line.
Well, we'll see if he has anything like any of the Mannings coming out of Ole Miss. He could be scrambling like Archie. I'd love to see it. Can you imagine?
Yeah, where did the scrambling gene go, by the way? Archie passed down the quarterback gene.
But they never scrambled like their old man,
no.
Right?
Well, the old man was running for his life his whole pro career. What a great guy, by the way. He comes to our Maxwell Football Club awards on occasion. And every time he does, he brings the whole family. The boys still follow Dad's lead. I like that.
1st and 10 at the 14-yard line. Sinet Wu to the near side. AI goes to the left, and here's Mayorga. Mayorga to the 10. Oh, he is a load down to the 8-yard line. That's one carry where he didn't score a touchdown.
Yeah, listen to the Zenith pads pop here. Let's listen. Okay, we didn't turn up the Nat sound, but it was a good pop.
It was still a good one.
Yeah.
So after the run by Mayorga, it will be 2nd and 5 at the 9-yard line.
Zenith providing both our helmets, you see the X on the front, and our shoulder pads and all our players here in the CAFL.
There's Jun Xing Zhang. Maybe he'll get a chance to come off the bench and play a little quarterback as the team gets down near the goal line. And we have a timeout taken by the Dalian Dragon Kings. 9:26 to play in this one. 57-19, Beijing. It's all Beijing since late in the first half.
And that's where our public address announcer goes to work and tries to explains to the sparse crowd here, which we should explain. The government literally shut down all transportation about 24 hours ago in anticipation of the typhoon, taking no chances in China. They raised their threat warning to an 8, which means no airplanes, no boats, no buses. And basically everyone stayed at home. We're hoping tonight for our 7 o'clock game, because we've distributed 5,000 tickets, we think at least that many will be here for this evening, and by then the restrictions should be lifted. But it's been a little hairy here.
Alea comes to the near side.
The judge.
Sinet Wu on the far side. Here comes Taylor in motion. Collis looking to AI for the touchdown. To Hoti Alea with a touchdown reception. That is his first touchdown catch of the season.
And he did that against a veteran DB. He actually did a little push-off, a very savvy move by the Chinese receiver on the tail end of it. Watch this, see if our camera picks it up to the right. You're not going to see it. There it was. You saw the tail end of a little bit of a push-off. that gave him just enough space. He faded to the corner, just like you're taught to do for the touchdown.
Wow. They are getting everybody involved of the Beijing Lions, and everybody is contributing as well. I mean, so they're earning those touches. Here's the extra point by Patrick Clark, and his kick is no good. Second time today that Clark has been off the mark. But once again, Tahuti Alea comes up with a touchdown reception, and the Beijing Lions lead this one by the score of 63-19. Back in a moment on One World Sports.
And that's what it looks like. And here's the special cutaway, Mick. You can see through and see the shock absorbers. Yep. And what's really interesting, Mick, is inside this bonnet, it kind of floats independently, is what really makes it happen. As we cut back to it live, we took some shots of the cutaway version of the helmet.
Yeah, Zenith's done a real fine job, and they sent the representatives out here today, even to check in with the coaches to make sure that they like the fit and like the way things are working with it.
See here in the inside, this bonnet kind of floats independently. It even pulls the shock absorbers away so that there's sort of a cushion layer between the outer shell and where these disperse any of the impact. It's being used in the NFL, in the colleges, and exclusively by the CAFL. We thank Zenith for that and their shoulder pads that all our players are wearing throughout our first season of football here at the CAFL. Of course, Mick and I need this when we get on each other's nerves a little bit, and we each wear one in the booth.
It is week 4, so
our 12th game.
Here's the kick by Patrick Clark. Woodard going to watch it come off the net, take a big hop, and he's at the 5. Woodard to the 10. Finds a little seam, 15, brought down by Deeker from behind at about the 18-yard line.
Deeker, now he's got a tackle. He's got a fumble recovery, a tackle, a touchdown pass, a touchdown caught, and a touchdown run.
And he fought off a block there, too, and came all the way back to make this hit. How about that?
He's a real football player, man. He's not one of these coddled quarterbacks. Guys that play with little red vests on during the practice week.
No, he takes hits. He's thrown a pass. He's caught a pass. He's running in for a touchdown. He's made some tackles, recovered a fumble. He just needs to kick. Maybe he can. He's on a kickoff team. Maybe he can shove Patrick Clark out of the way and take a half at it.
Hey, man. Drop kick.
First and 10. Off the hands of Romaine, looking for another pick, incomplete.
Oh, they're salivating right now.
Oh, yeah. They've been loading up.
They're going back to that buffet, saying, I'm going to have another one.
4 interceptions today. Torres Jones has 2. Romaine has 1 for a pick 6 for a touchdown. And David Aku was the intended receiver, incomplete. So the football at the 18, where it is 2nd and 10. You know, another record today in the CAFL in this game. 63 points is a record for one team. And Beijing has eclipsed the mark of 61, set last week by Shanghai. And there's another sack. And that is Paul Chang, his 2nd sack of the day.
All right, this is piling on. Garcia 1 for 7 in the second half, 2 interceptions, sacked 3 times now. I'm not sure he was sacked. He may have tripped. His own man may have backed up into his feet. Let's see. Watch the feet. Yeah, he got crossed up.
All right. Sorry, Paul. No sack there. Just call it a failed run play.
That was our man Owen, who's now in playing center. As Terry Bates has really had an attrition problem with his personnel, and he's had to mix and match to try and get through this thing now.
So 3rd and 10. That's more than that because it's back at the 14. Nice catch. Nice catch by Woodard. Fumbled the football, picked up by Romaine. Romaine at the 15. Romaine to the 10. He's smelling the end zone to the goal line. Touchdown! James Romaine in the end zone once again.
Well, James Romaine is a highlight film waiting to happen anytime he's near any ball, and he just believes anytime he touches it and has it in his hands that he's going to the end zone. He never gives up on a play. Unfortunate, Woodard makes a nice play. Jones actually breaks it free. Now watch this. Broken ankle there. Broken tackle there. Another one, and the end zone for Romaine.
With James Romaine into the end zone again. 69-19 with a point pending. The 70th point is just around the corner. Sinet Wu, the holder. Placement down, kick on the way. This one is good. And our score reads 70-19 as the Beijing Lions looking to go a perfect 4-0. James Romaine celebrating once again. Another look at the touchdown as Romaine has, well, that's the touchdown to AI. Regardless, it's still 70-19. Hope you're enjoying our coverage on One World Sports.
激烈的碰撞，超高的得分，职业美式室内橄榄球强势来袭。CAFL 巡回赛继续在中国展开，最终会在上海角逐中国网冠军。日期是11月6日，北京雄狮、上海天行者、大连龙王、青岛快船、深圳眼镜蛇、广州超能量，中国体坛新运动。不要错过11月6日星期日在上海东方体育馆举行的中国碗，并通过 CAFLChina.com 购买门票。
Yeah, they're playing happy, and that tune is known the world over, and these kids are happy going to their first CAFL American-style football game here in Guangzhou. In the middle of the threat of a typhoon, we still had a nice turnout here in the afternoon game. We have a big one coming up your way at 7 o'clock tonight. Lou Tilley and Mick Moneyhall, Sandra Parks down on the sidelines, and Beijing well on their way to the China Bowl.
Here is a squib kick. It's going to roll all the way to the 4-yard line where Mo Woodard has it. Sidesteps one tackler and put down at the 15-yard line. And that is Alea, who has a touchdown reception today. And he says, nah, no way, not on my watch.
How about this open field tackle right here? Nicely done. Put his helmet on the front side of Woodard's legs, and that will take most guys down. It takes a little guts to do it, but it works.
Yep, so Alea with a nice tackle. Celebration time on the Beijing bench, and why not, as they lead it 70-19. So 1st and 10, 19-yard line. And here's a quick toss, complete. Yep, makes the catch right at the 19.
Let's go down to Sandra right now with one of our players and some of the young fans.
各位观众们，你们好！我们现在跟一个小球迷，广州的球迷在一起。你叫什么名字？
我叫田晴女，今年6岁。
你最喜欢哪一队？
我最喜欢北京雄狮队。
啊，北京雄狮啊！可是你现在穿的不是广州的队的衣服吗？
不是吧
So we have a fan here for Beijing Lions. Now we're gonna throw it back upstairs.
Yeah, and right next to him is big Lavoisier Touanet, which is what I was hoping to see. All 6'6" of him, who was engaging with the fans, signing autographs and taking photos.
So after the incomplete pass, we're looking at 3rd and 6 at the 20-yard line. 70-19. Beijing Lion fans enjoying it. Motion here. And back to throw is Garcia. He's going to keep it himself. He has to the 20-yard line and brought down at the 20, first down. So Philip Garcia saw an opening and decided to take it himself, and why not?
The running quarterback finally breaks loose. Hadn't had a gain of more than 3. This time tucks it, does find a seam. Good blocking up front, and picks up 15 yards down the right boards.
Yep, Mayorga playing on defense, tracked them down. So it sets up a 1st and 10 at the 20. Jen Ma to the near side. Substitutions on defense. Mayorga are going to come out on 1st down now.
Don't forget, coming up at 7, where you are and where we are, different times and different sides of the world, different days, as a matter of fact. Coming up at 7, our feature game of the Saturday doubleheader is Qingdao will challenge Shanghai. Both teams come in at 2-1. A win puts them, that team, into the driver's seat to get to the championship game, the China Bowl. The loser with 2 losses, it's a long shot. So that ought to be a good one. Good matchup of quarterbacks. Brian Randall, the former Virginia Tech star for Qingdao. And for Shanghai, a red-hot Austin comes in at quarterback, coming off of a 9-touchdown performance in Shanghai's last win. Shane Austin versus Brian Randall. Shanghai versus Qingdao at 7.
Yep, that's Reggie Gray on one side for Qingdao, big-time receiver, going against Mike Washington on the other. That has all the makings of a high firepower game. That ball's rejected. Calvin Fantz right in the face of the quarterback, Philip Garcia, to swat it away.
Calvin Fantz has had a whale of a game. Remember, this is a linebacker defensive end and has done it all today. And then next week we go to Shenzhen. Doubleheader Saturday has Dalian versus Shanghai with Beijing versus Guangzhou. That will be a key game, especially for the power to stay alive. Then Qingdao versus Shenzhen, fighting for their playoff lives as well on Sunday.
2nd down, 20-yard line. Yip comes in motion. Garcia, 2-step drop, finds the little receiver off his hands and incomplete. And that is Sing Long Shong saying, yeah, you got me for an interception call before, but not this time.
Worth
Boom.
another look. Worth another look. Chinese starting to get the physicality of the game. Young defender putting his shoulder in there, and Yip still having a hard time holding onto the ball with his hands when it touches.
Ka-chung Yip, but a little ka-chung right there.
Took his eye off that one again, Nick. You got to look it all the way into your hands. I think he felt it. And this is something they have to get used to. And they're learning the hard way, but they are learning.
Sing Long Shong lowering the boom. He went to college at Northeastern, did Shong.
In Boston.
Yep. Garcia throws, and Mosley makes the catch. Rumbling to the other, going to knock him out of bounds. Jordan Mosley almost into the end zone.
17 yards for Big Jordan, one of our favorites. His dad played for the Redskins. Jordan out of South Carolina has been a big help to us and a great ambassador of our sport all through China.
So we have the 1-minute timeout as Mosley takes it where it's going to be 1st and goal at the 3-yard line.
So take a look at this as we take a break. We've enjoyed the fans. We've enjoyed our tour. We hope you'll enjoy this.
He's got tickets for tonight's game.
Yes, you're right. Yeah, they've picked up on our scoreboards. Our video boards are on the ends of the arena here. That's why they're looking off this. I might as well get a selfie while I'm doing it. It doesn't take them long, does it? Just enjoy some of the faces and the fans here.
The fans have really taken not only to the music, but just I think the size of the players as well. The enormity of it all seems to be a big, big thrill. There's no doubt.
And there's our Orlando Magic fan, and breeding a little, or bringing along a little, I guess he did breed a little fan as well, bringing him along with American-style football. Last minute of play, Beijing has this well in hand, and with this win, we'll go to 4-0, and we'll earn a place in the finals in the China Bowl game on Sunday, November 6th. Lou Tilly along with Mick Monninghoff and Sandra Parks.
70 points, Lou, a new CAFL record. And trying to avert the shutout of the second half is Phil Garcia and company. Richardson in motion. Garcia going to try to keep it himself, fighting off tacklers, and finally stood up for no gain.
Mick, 19 points for Dalian. They led when they hit 19,
They
right?
did. 19-13, I believe, was the score at that point in the first quarter.
19-13, so 57-0 since then in favor of Beijing.
Wow. So after no gain, 2nd and goal. Still at the 3-yard line. Garcia in the shotgun, retreats.
Look out.
Wants to throw, incomplete.
Hard to throw the football forward when you're running backwards.
So an incomplete pass.
We'll talk to the winning coach. It looks to be Clint Dalzell, who with this win looks like he gets a spot in the finals of the China Bowl. That's coming up with Sandra immediately following the conclusion of our game. And then we'll see you again at 7 for game 2 of our Saturday doubleheader.
20 seconds left on 3rd and goal. And here's Garcia, wants to throw to the end zone, caught, Zhenma, touchdown. And that'll make him feel good as we have 15 seconds to go. Zhenma with his touchdown reception, number 2 on the season from Phil Garcia. So Zhenma into the end zone for the 2nd time this year.
Well, that's good. Good fighting, Dalian. Proud of you. Kept your head in there. Didn't give up. Found a man wide open in the back of the end zone, which Dalzell won't be happy about.
70-25, and they'll go for a 2-point conversion.
You always want to leave the team with a good feeling, something to build on.
Absolutely. So Garcia will send Richardson in motion. They flood the pattern to the end zone. Knocked down by Torres Jones. Incomplete. So the 2-point try, no good. Another look at the touchdown, though.
I'm told that Sandra will be talking with Clint Dalzell and Paul Chang. Now, that ought to be interesting. Paul is the one we talked to about, who's a part-time actor in the Night at the Museum series of movies with Ben Stiller as one of the Huns, and also an MMA fighter, star, age 40, and told me, he said, it's really rough, Lou. You know, I can do it, I can play, and has played well. He said, but it's really taken a toll on me. And we auditioned him. We thought he'd make a great announcer. And he would, I think. So we'll get to hear him.
Here's the thing. I hope we have plenty of time, because Paul Chang's never at a loss for words.
Yeah, and in the museum movies, he never gets any lines. So,
so he's making up for it on this trip.
Yeah, he may give us a dissertation.
I think he's got a future in maybe American politics, because if you ever need a filibuster, Paul Chang's the guy I would call on.
There's a couple guys like that on this on this tour. We could go 24/7 with a talk show, just with 2 guys that I know.
This is true. A good look at Torres Jones, who is deep. Here is the kick. Whoa, low line drop. It went off the hands of Deeker. I think he was trying to make the catch. And they'll mark it out of bounds.
So this will be our last play of a solid Beijing win. Hard to believe they were down at the end of the first quarter. But then Clint Dozell, who is a no-nonsense guy, said, we're going to have none of that. And really got them good, playing excellent all-around football in every phase of the game from the first quarter on.
There was no nonsense in that second half at all, that's for sure.
53 points scored in the final 3 quarters of this game. And he's got Deeker in, his running quarterback, who's been perfect throwing the ball in this game.
So Deeker, under center in the final 11 seconds, going to hand off to Rustin Mayorga, still running hard across the 15 to the 17-yard line. So Rustin grind that out about 6 good yards, and somebody's slow to get up. Hopefully that's not Rustin. No, it's not. And it will help up. It's Sinet Wu. Erwin Sinet Wu shaking up on the final play of the game, but it looks like he's going to be able to limp off under his own power as the game has come to a close. Our final score, 70-25, as the Beijing Lions go to 4-0, securing a spot in the first ever China Bowl.
Yeah, and richly deserved. They were challenged. Dalian came out with the upset in mind. They hit a big play, a 49-yard, 2-footer. That gave them a lot of enthusiasm. There was a goal line stand in the early going against this high-powered Beijing offense. There's Paul Chang right there. We'll be hearing from him in a moment, as that's a face that Hollywood loves. And you see some of the coaches. It's a nice tradition that we've had over here in the CAFL. All these guys spend the whole tour together. They've been here for 7 weeks. They practice together, live in the hotels together, share their meals together, great camaraderie. Sometimes they practice together. But on game day, they're very competitive, but good sportsmen at the end. That's something we've all, part of the CAFL, have emphasized with these guys, is to exemplify sportsmanship in our tour of China so that they get the right idea about what a great sport American-style football is. Sandra standing by with Clint Dozell, the winning coach. Sandra?
各位观众朋友们，大家好！现在站在我旁边的是北京雄狮队主教练。Congratulations again! What an impressive game! 4-0 and a big second half. Tell us what did you guys do? How did you pull away like that?
Well, we started executing a little bit better. We did not execute well. We came out a little lackluster for sure there. So we don't want to come out like that. We kind of took this game lightly, which we should never do in arena football. So I'm happy with the way we played in the second half. I'm pleased.
Well, congratulations, and we'll look forward to see the next game. Thank you so much, Coach.
Thank you.
刚刚教练说呢，他非常的高兴，他们第二半场呢打的就是非常的有水准哦。他说第一半场就不应该像刚刚那样，应该每一次都像他们第二半场这样子的打球。然后现在在我旁边呢是我们的一位中国球员Paul Chen， 他呢是打我们的防守线，然后呢，刚刚今天有2次的情报，3次的情报，对不起，然后还有一次呢2分啊，跟我们讲一下现在心情怎么样？
当然心情很高兴，很感谢我们的教练，跟感谢我们的队友，很感谢我们大家中国人，然后来看这个球，请大家支持我们，我们会慢慢的更打好，谢谢大家。
Thank you so much, Paul. Thank you.
Thank you. 我的名字陈志平，我的中文名。
陈志平，他的中文名字。What he said was like he thanks everybody for coming to the game today, and also of course thank his coach, all his teammates who worked so well together, and he was very happy that he got this very good game today. And now our dancer of the game, James Ring. Good. How are you?
I'm doing good.
So first pick six and first. Run back. Yeah. Of the whole history and the CFL. How does that feel?
Oh, I didn't know that. Well, I feel great now. Mama, I love you.
Well, tell us, like, how did you prepare yourself for the second half?
Basically, we went in there and told them guys we got to play up to the competition. You know, even though Dalian was on fire, we got to come out and play like the 3-0 team that we was. So we just went in there, regrouped, made some changes, and just came out strong.
Well, congratulations on 4-0, and now still undefeated.
Thank you.
Looking forward to see you guys again.
Yes. Hey, hold on. If you're watching, I love you, baby.
刚刚那是我们的另外一名明星球员哦，他有2次非常成功的佳绩，就是在 CFL 历史上的2件非常厉害的事情，就是第一个就是拿到了球然后回攻，然后第二个就是拿到了球然后往回跑也达到的达阵得分哦。我们的 James Romaine 然后非常会跳舞，他也说他们第2半场就是打得非常好，跟所有的球员们一起打，所以他们才能够这么成功。那我们现在把现场交回给摄影棚 ，throw it back upstairs to the guys.
I hope James is talking to his girlfriend, not mine. Now, I've known him for 5 years. He's a delightful guy and a great, great football player. Nick, take us out.
Well, it was all Beijing pretty much from the second quarter on in this game as the Beijing Lions win it by the score of 70-25. But how about Kent Richardson scoring on a 49-yard touchdown pass? And actually, the Dalian Dragon Kings had a lead at that point, but then Colin Taylor and company go to work. And just a little conversation with the fans, and why not? Maurice Woodard, though, with a touchdown return and a lead at that point of 19-14, but that was the last time the Dalian Dragon Kings would lead in this game, because from there on out, it was all Beijing and company. Colin Taylor with touchdown catches, James Romaine with 3 returns in this ball game. Plenty to celebrate as the Beijing Lions go to 4-0 with an impressive 70-19 or 70-25 win, I beg your pardon, over the Dalian Dragon Kings. Now for Lou Tilley and the entire staff, I'm Mick Moningoff. Thanks for joining us this time around from Guangzhou. Beijing, a perfect 4-0. Thanks for being with us today on One World Sports.